Morning, YouTube. We're coming on the air.
Wonders for women by reversing the symptoms of menopause, like the night sweats and the mood swings.
Good morning.
Men and women. You don't have to live with the negative effects of aging, like loss of energy, loss of sexual desire, weight gain, or menopause. Call Dr. Matez and meet with him about bioidentical hormone pellet therapy. It works for me, and it'll work for you too. He's located in Boca, and his
Good morning,
website is
everyone.
Therapy Boca Raton.
Coming live now. Hey, Cheryl.
561 953 5490. 561 953 5490.
Okay, here we go.
The Steve Kane Show is brought to you by attorney Barry Siegel at the Siegel Law Group. Avoid probate with a revocable living trust. $350 for single people, $450 for married couples. When you complete your trust with attorney Barry Siegel, he will give you a $100 gift certificate to Tavolino Italian Restaurant in Coral Springs. The Siegel Law Group, with 9 offices in South Florida, including Boca Raton, Plantation, and Coral Springs. Call 1-855.
Okay. There we go. We're good to go.
The opinions expressed in the following sponsored program are strictly those of the host, guests.
Good morning.
Not necessarily those of the station.
I hit some button that was doing something. I just restarted it. I'd like to have a great day. I've been kind of grumpy lately. Oh, man. Welcome, welcome. My name is Brian Craig. You are listening to Florida's longest running radio show, The Steve Kane Show, on the radio since 1977. Welcome, one and all. It is October 1st, 2019, Tuesday morning. Welcome, welcome. Hopefully things will go smoother today than yesterday. Don't forget, watch us live on the radio show here on my YouTube channel, Brian Craig on YouTube. Just go to Brian Craig on YouTube. Watch us stream live. If you miss a part of the show, you can always go back and catch it. Brian Craig on YouTube. I have hundreds of videos there. And also, check out my podcast, The Brian Craig Show Podcast. I uploaded, I think it was episode 839 last night. I have a podcast studio at home, and I podcast with my wife, Kathy, The Brian Craig Show Podcast, on most podcast platforms. Subscribe to that, too. All right, well, welcome, welcome. You know, it seems today that the tide is turning a little bit on this creep, Adam Schiff. Right? People are replaying the phone call that the Russian radio host made to his office, got him on the phone, telling him that they were Ukrainian officials. So we have Adam Schiff on tape believing that he is colluding with Ukrainians. We've got, boy, things have turned around rather quick. And I've even noticed on the Clinton News Network, that's CNN, by the way. We used to call them the Clinton News Network when Bill Clinton was president a long time ago. Even they are talking about Hunter Biden and this golfing with his dad at Martha's Vineyard with the Ukrainians. Things are not going very well now. Things are starting to turn, and the discussion now is just starting to begin. When will Hunter Biden testify in front of a Senate committee about this? Right? So things are turning, but I got to tell you something. Anyone out there who is a liberal really should be supporting Donald Trump too, because the left don't get it. These liberal activists, they just don't get it. I have been hearing liberals forever and ever talk about getting big business out of government, right? They're obsessed with PACs. Those are political action committees that donate money. They're corporate donors and all these things. And I've heard the left forever tell us that we've got to get these corporate interests out of politics. That's one of the major, it's not the only reason, but it's one of the major reasons that the Mitt Romney pieces of garbage in the Republican Party with the Democrats and the media, this is why they go after Trump. One of the biggest reasons they go after Trump is because the corporate interest and the special interest have lost all of their juice. This trade negotiation deals going on with China and elsewhere, especially China, have them freaked out. And, the thing about the media, these are not independent media companies that just broadcast news. They're part of huge international conglomerates. And the news divisions of these big corporations is just a small part of their business and really acts as a PR firm to push their agenda. And these big companies do not want the trade deals renegotiated with China because they have their business over there, and they're raping the United States on these unfair trade practices. So these big international mega corporations are using their media arms also to go after this guy. But if you are a liberal who believes special interest and corporate interest should not have a voice in politics, remember what liberals used to say? Corporations aren't people, about donations. This president has cut those people out. Political action committees, corporate donations, and that has been a big thing with liberal activists. And they should be supporting Trump just based on that. But I got to tell you, it is very nice to see. It started happening yesterday. It's happening more today. To see the focus shift against Biden and against Schiff. And, Biden's got a lot of explaining to do, as does Hunter Biden. And, if they bring Hunter Biden in front of a congressional committee in the Senate where, grown-up Republicans are doing the questioning, if they bring Hunter Biden up in front of a committee in the Senate and start asking how he went from being tossed out of the military on drug charges to a short time later getting paid boatloads of money by this Ukrainian energy company, he's going to have a lot of explaining to do as to what his qualifications were, right? He has no experience in that. And who gives that kind of money to someone who's hooked on drugs? And it would not go well. And, you got to wonder, is Biden like Flynn? And what I mean by that is, General Flynn made some big sacrifices with that Mueller witch hunt to protect his son. Would Joe Biden do that, or would he let his son take the heat? I don't know. I don't know. Time will tell. But the Bidens are not. And yeah, Steve Bannon's talking about this. But one of our listeners, Nick in Baltimore, called this out months ago on this program. Months and months ago, Nick from Baltimore called in and said Steve Bannon's getting credit for being on the cutting edge, but Nick in Baltimore called the show and he said Hillary Clinton will run for president. And we all laughed. Nick, come on. And here we have Hillary Clinton pumped up with Botox and caffeine doing interviews. Hillary Clinton is running for president. At least she's planning on running right now. And she knows because she's an old hat, because of she's up there in years, that this is her last opportunity. And, Hillary Clinton is an abused woman. She's abused by her creepy husband. And Hillary Clinton, back in the 1970s, when she married this creep, Bill Clinton, she made incredible sacrifices as a wife and as a woman. And she made sacrifices for her messed up daughter, Hillary Clinton's daughter, Chelsea. She sacrificed a good marriage, a good husband, a career, and everything. She put up with her husband's scummy behavior. You know what his scummy behavior is. I don't have to tell you. And she did it all for power. And Barack Obama stole her. This is Hillary's perspective. Barack Obama stole her first presidency. Donald Trump stole her second presidency. So now she's going to go at it again. And, this story with the Ukrainians, the Ukrainian phone call, as well as the corruption by Biden, my first thought when this came out was that it was Elizabeth Warren, and I was very wrong. I believe it was Hillary Clinton. And, Hillary Clinton, the Hillary Clinton campaign were the ones who uncovered the Reverend Jeremiah Wright tapes and started asking the birth certificate question about Barack Obama during the 2008 primary season. And Hillary Clinton made the choice not to run with the Jeremiah Wright tapes, which were terrible, the pastor to Obama, and not run with the birth certificate problems because she thought she had it in the bag. Who's Barack Obama? We're the Clintons. And they didn't want to alienate the black vote. And the more I think about it, this story with Hillary and the whistleblower and all this, with Biden and the whistleblower, is Hillary Clinton's people. They're not going to hold back anything this time, and they're paving the way for her to come in and be the savior. Because after Biden, who do you have? Elizabeth Warren was committing fraud about her ethnicity her entire adult life. And the other people are amateurs at barely even amateur. They're like little league players. Cory Booker and Kamala Harris and all these losers. So Hillary is running. And she's going to make a play for it. If she gets the nomination, if it goes that far, I don't know. But she's positioning herself to be the savior of America. And God help us if she were to win. But I'm here to tell you that as the tables begin to turn, the Democrats have firmed up the reelection of Donald Trump. There's no doubt about it. They just played their hand a little too fast and a little too hard here. We're going to take our first break of this month. Really, right? It's October 1st. My name is Brian Craig. We will be back right after this.
This is Steve Kane, and I'm here with William Youngerman from William Youngerman.
Steve Kane Show.
Trading in, I guess
Steve
they
Kane
call it
Show.
scrap gold. In other words, if people have old
Yeah,
jewelry that's been passed on to them, stuff they
Yes,
don't
yes, yes.
use,
Make sure you subscribe on YouTube.
Scrap jewelry.
There's a lot going on right now in this area because of the attention gold is getting and the higher price that it's at. People advertising under parties, all kinds to mail it in to sell your scrap. The only reason to ever sell gold, as far as I'm concerned, is when you have either a better place for the money, you're
That's
not
right.
repairing it, you're not using it, or if you have it in a form such as scrap or pieces of broken chain and everything else that have no easily understandable value attached to them. So what we're recommending people to do is, one, get rid of things that you don't wear and enjoy. Gold is an investment even if you're wearing it on your neck and you're enjoying it. If you're not, then take it and then trade it in. If you don't need the money for something else, trade the gold scrap in for something that's an identifiable, easily recognizable, tradable form of gold, which would be something like a 1 ounce gold bar or half-ounce gold coin or some equal amount of gold, so that you're not just taking dollars that you're going to spend and waste somewhere, but you're actually converting that scrap gold into something that is easily tradable, and that all you have to do is look at the television or look at the paper to find out the price of gold or listen to our reports, and you know that if you have 2 ounces of gold, it's worth X number of dollars. The next thing is to know that who you're dealing with when you're trading it in. Get a couple of offers on it. Don't just go to these to mail it in and take your chances. You do your homework, you'll get the most for your gold. And then
Wow.
a form of gold that's easily recognizable and tradable, and it is an insurance policy for
Hey,
you.
Molly.
The place to go is William Youngerman Inc. at 150 East Palmetto Park Road in Boca. That's in the Bank America building. You can call William at 1-800-327-5010 or go to the website at williamyoungerman.com.
Seniors, open enrollment. This is the one time of year you can make changes to your Medicare plan. Call Debbie and I will advise you. 954-753-8080.
Well, thank you, Ryan.
954-753-8080. And have her review your Medicare plan. 954-753-8080.
Listen to the Steve Kane Show on radio.
Yeah, you Medicare recipients, this is it. Open enrollment has now begun. Today is the first official day, the only time of year you can make changes to your Medicare policy. No matter where you are in the state of Florida, call Debbie and I will advisors, and she can help you with your Medicare. 954-753-8080. 954-753-8080. Good morning. You're on the radio. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Ryan, the Lurch of Yonkers.
Oh, the Lurch of Yonkers. Oh boy, not long enough. Not long enough.
That I want YouTube that you have given up on Fox News.
Yes, I have.
I have too. I gave up a year ago on that and CNN.
Yeah, but if you could, but the Lurch of Yonkers, if you could only give up on me, that'd make me really happy. Could you give up on me?
No, dude, I love your podcast, so I'm a fan of yours.
Yeah, I know. I don't know if that's a good thing.
This is the only thing I've watched on CNN for the past year is Colin Quinn's Scandal Special. Did
Steve
you
Kane
see
Show.
that? Hello?
Steve Kane Show. Yeah. Yeah. Did I trick him? Did he think I wasn't there and hang up? Good morning. You're on the radio.
This is Mike Mettenroot.
Hey, Mike. How you doing?
You're right about this thing about it being this whole thing with Biden being a Hillary Clinton thing. The problem with Hillary Clinton, though, is with the whole thing with right and stuff like that. She didn't have the killing instinct, and that's why she didn't put that out there at that time. And will she, if she does run, will she be lazy like she was last?
Well, here's what I think, Mike. That's what I think. I think this is all Hillary Clinton's people. And I was talking yesterday about how this whistleblower looks like a Comey operation because it was done through a third party. Like when Comey used to leak things to the media, he would do it through a third party. And I'm thinking that Comey and Hillary and that whole crew, they got the old band back together. And this whistleblower impeachment is a Hillary Clinton campaign operation. And I think Hillary Clinton very well may have promised Comey that he'll be the FBI director again under President Hillary Rodham Clinton. I'm telling you, I'm not kidding.
Well, he might very well be if he doesn't get it first. But
Well, she could pardon him because we have, her delusion is that we have an unlawful president who unlawfully fired Comey. So she's telling him, you'll get a pardon and I'll make you FBI director again.
okay, I get that. But again, my question still stands. She was lazy against Trump the first time. I mean, she thought she had it. Thought she had it sewn up, right? She didn't go to Wisconsin. She didn't go to Michigan or what.
Mm-hmm.
There are several states that she didn't flat out didn't go to because she thought she had it sewn up. Will she be lazy this time? That lazy this?
Well, I don't know if she was lazy or just not healthy enough to travel around. Donald Trump, if you read, in Corey Lewandowski's book, Let Trump Be Trump, he was talking about flying around to the Trump rallies in the campaign. And Donald Trump had the fastest private plane that you could buy, right? So because he had the fastest private plane in the sky, he could get to places faster than anyone else, and he has a high energy level. Hillary Clinton was not healthy enough to campaign full time. Remember her at the 9/11 ceremony? She almost collapsed. They were holding her up against was it a tree? And they took her to, so she just wasn't healthy enough. But, she has sacrificed so much in her mind. She feels she's entitled to the presidency.
Right. I mean, if you look at it, she really should have divorced Clinton long ago.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, she really should have. I mean,
Yeah.
and she didn't like it when people said it, but she the Tammy Wynette song "Stand on Your Man."
Yeah. Well, if Hillary would have divorced Bill Clinton, people would respect her more.
Right. And that's the thing.
I'm all choked up.
To tell you the truth, I don't think even they think
Live radio.
You talking about her being the white knight or whatever.
Yeah.
She can beat Trump.
Of course, no one can beat Trump. No one can beat Trump. He's unbeatable. But Hillary Clinton doesn't know that. She's delusional. Hillary Clinton doesn't realize, she doesn't really understand that the American people despise her. She thinks she is loved by women. A huge chunk of the voting age women weren't even around, were not even coherent or not even alive when she was first lady. It's been so long, And what kind of role model is she to women? Put up with some scummy husband that puts it in anything that's moving? Right? I mean, in this new, this is a post-feminist era. Women today don't even understand that. And to stand by a man who is mentally abusive to you, as Bill Clinton has been with his whoremongering their entire marriage that she chose to stick with, women don't respect that. The only time Hillary Clinton has been in charge of anything was Benghazi, and we know how that turned out. So, yeah, but she's not self-aware, Hillary Clinton. She thinks that she is a role model to women everywhere of all ages, from toddlers to old hags like herself, and that she's accomplished things in life. She doesn't understand anything about herself or how she's perceived.
Well, I mean, she was somewhat in charge of them trying to get health care.
Yeah, and which didn't happen. That was a failure.
No.
Yeah.
Much like a lot of these Democrats, they are all failures. I mean, yeah, Pete Buttigieg, when it was a mayor, but what happened to what happened to that city under him?
Well, you wouldn't know because the media never go to South Bend or South Bend, Indiana. To see how Buttigieg has been. It's amazing to me that the media haven't shown us one city council meeting or anything or walked the streets of South Bend, Indiana to show us the great accomplishments of Buttigieg there. It's very interesting. But no, Hillary Clinton is running. She will lose again, and she'll be humiliated again. I'm sorry. she has no accomplishments other than putting up with a scummy husband's sexual escapades.
Oh, this is not going to make Miss Harris happy if
Yeah.
Soups are.
Yeah, I'm choking like crazy. Yeah. I feel sorry for Hillary Clinton in a way because I do believe she has been mentally abused her pretty much entire adult life, married to this scuzzy Bill Clinton.
Yeah. All right, Bob.
All right, take care. But Hillary Clinton, if you watch Dinesh D'Souza's movie, right? I mean, she was, her parents were radical. She has been groomed for this. I mean, she was personally connected to Saul Alinsky when she was in high school and college. So Hillary Clinton, I know she likes to tell these stories about her upbringing, but her and her family are part of that Chicago cell of activists. Her entire life was preparing to be the president. And they put her together with Bill Clinton, and they put her together with the wrong guy at the wrong time. And I don't think women have respect for her. Maybe some old hags from the 60s do. I tell you, what is this? This week has started off as the worst week I've had on the air ever. Yesterday, we're having technical problems. Today, I'm choking to death. I'm going to take a break and finish off this bottle of water and go get another bottle of water and try to get through this. But this is not good. My name's Brian Craig. This is the Steve Kane Radio Show, Florida's longest running radio show on the radio since 1977. 1-888-GO-KANE-1 is our number. We'll be right back.
Brian Craig.
I don't know what's going on.
Dr. Rich Matez at the Boca Raton Center for Age Management. He's my anti-aging doctor. That's right, I have an anti-aging doctor now. This year, I turned 45, and I was starting to slow down a bit. I met with Dr. Matez, and he found that my testosterone level was low. We men begin losing our testosterone starting at age 30, and it goes down every year after that. Dr. Matez told me I was approaching the beginning of andropause. That's the male equivalent of menopause. I began bioidentical hormone pellet therapy. They're tiny little pellets inserted under my skin, and now my testosterone levels are being restored to where they were when I was 25 years
Having a
old.
rough week
Dr.
this week.
Matez, I have more energy, I feel better, I look better, my love life is
That's a
better,
tough one.
and my body. Jeez, thank you, Dr. Matez, too.
I'm all choked up.
Bioidentical hormone pellet therapy isn't just for men, it works wonders for women. By
Yes, it does.
reversing the symptoms of menopause, like the night sweats and the mood swings, men and women. You don't have to live with the negative effects of aging, like loss of energy, loss of sexual desire, weight gain, or menopause. Call Dr. Matez and meet with him about bioidentical hormone pellet therapy. It works for me, and it'll work for you too. He's located in Boca, and his website is hormonetherapybocaraton.com. Or give him a call, 561-953-5490. 561-953-5490. And tell him Brian Craig sent you.
This is Steve Kane with an exciting announcement from Tavolino's. Tavolino's is now open for brunch every Saturday and Sunday from 11 a.m. to 2:45. A gourmet menu including dishes like Nana's breakfast sandwich, candied bacon with avocado and aged cheddar cheese, and vine raven tomatoes will make your mouth water. Or how about the steak and eggs Benedict, filet mignon toast on an organic egg toasted with English muffin, peppercorn sauce, hollandaise, and roasted potatoes will make your mouth water. Or try Delanote's chicken and waffles, crispy buttermilk chicken aged with cheddar cheese, Brussels sprouts, and candied bacon. It is a taste delight you will enjoy every weekend at Tavolino's. To make reservations, call Tavolino's for either the Saturday or Sunday brunch, 954-509-0046.
I've had 3 cups of hot coffee today.
This restaurant and tell Steve Kane sent you.
sometimes, you know, being a talk show host is like being a singer. You use your voice and throat a lot. And, you know, 2 shows, this show, my podcast, catches up to you, you know. I don't talk a lot after the show. But today's going to be a tough day. If I wasn't alone and had someone to go, it'd be a little easier, but oh God, no, you'll never hear me sing. That's why a lot of times I don't talk during the break. I'll tell you oh yeah, all right, welcome back. Yeah, I'm having a hard time. My throat is a little off today. And, you know, I was just talking during the break that, you know, the reason that is, you know, being a radio talk show host is like being a singer. You know what I mean? You use your voice a lot. And I do 2 shows a day. I do this show, I do my podcast, you know. And plus you've got to talk, you know, in your daily life sometimes. And it's one of those days where, you know, your voice gets worn out. And it's kind of one of those days. But you know what I always tell people? I always tell people this, same joke. My mouth gets more exercise than a street walking crack hoe. And it really does. And it's one of those days. But you know what? The show must go on. Second days of troubles on the broadcast, but that's okay. The Trump train will not be derailed. You know, I wonder, could Joe Biden face charges? Do any of you think Joe Biden could actually face charges? You know, this new photograph's pretty damning. FoxNews.com, a photo obtained by Fox News' Tucker Carlson tonight. Bear with me, people. I need some throat lozenges, but I don't have any here. A photo obtained by Fox News' Tucker Carlson tonight shows former Vice President Joe Biden and his son Hunter golfing in the Hamptons with Devon Archer. It's going to be a long day, people. Who served on the board of the Ukrainian natural gas company Burisma Holdings with Hunter. Earlier this month, Biden told Fox in Iowa he never discussed his son's foreign business dealings. Biden said this, "I've never spoken to my son about his overseas business dealings." Pointing his finger at Trump. I know Trump deserves to be investigated. Remember that with Steve Ducey? But here he is playing golf with the guy. So he just, you know, so Hunter just brings people around from foreign companies, no introductions. Come on. You know, it's getting up to his eyeballs in trouble here, Joe Biden, up to his scummy sunglasses. And, you know, Joe Biden obviously was using his son as a go-between to do what he could not do. Oh, my gosh. Someone in the chat room says, Mr. Craig, you're talking about Bill Clinton's cheatings. Why not Donald Trump's cheatings? The only time that we know of that Donald Trump cheated on a wife was his first wife with Marla Maples. And, yeah, that's the only infidelity we know about. And he married Marla Maples. And, you know, what Bill Clinton was doing wasn't just cheating, and he certainly never married any of these women. Some of them were sexual assaults, like Juanita Broderick. Juanita Broderick was raped, she says, twice by Bill Clinton. And I know Juanita Broderick a little bit. And she's a very nice lady, Juanita Broderick. I believe her. If you ever talk to her about it, you know, you would believe her too, you liberals out there. So Bill Clinton wasn't just a cheater; he was someone accused of rape, and that's a little different than just cheating. What he was doing with Monica Lewinsky is a fact. Monica Lewinsky and him, but he admitted it. Bill Clinton admitted what he was doing with Monica Lewinsky. There's no incidents of Donald Trump doing anything like that. Paula Jones roughed her up a little bit. You know, so, you know, no, it's not the same. It's not the same thing. I'm sorry to tell you. Good morning. You're on the radio.
Yeah, good morning.
Yes.
You know, forget this Bill Clinton, okay? Let's put a spotlight on her. She's a corrupt, crazy old lady who's mean to everybody around her. And she's a phony on television. Now she's got a daughter carrying her water. She's really a dirtbag. You want to know the truth? And her rating, her approval ratings have dropped like a rock. The country is at 60.
Yeah. Well, Richie, I'm sorry to tell you, the Bill Clinton affairs and rapes and things are important because Hillary Clinton will run around talking to Jane Pauley and the hags on The View and whoever the hell she talks to and act as if she is some great representative of women and women's rights. When women were raped, hold on, Richie, when women were raped and used and abused by her husband, Hillary Clinton was the one involved in covering it up and trying to discredit the accusers of her husband's assaults. So, that's very important. It's important to talk about that.
Yes, 150%. She also was mean to her White House staff. She fired people. She's ruthless. I mean, she's a ruthless, conniving, bad person.
She did something when Hillary to not elect her. Oh yeah, I agree. Hillary did something when she first became first lady that tells you what a scuzzy witch she is. And by the way, in Florida we have an accent. The rest of you, witch is spelled with a B. We just say it different in Florida. I don't know. It's a southern accent. There was this was a true story. It was reported. It was in the early days of her being first lady at the White House. She caught one of the White House servants on the phone to former First Lady Barbara Bush. And Barbara Bush called the White House to talk to this guy who worked there. He used to help her with her computer, and she was back home in Texas, and she needed his help. Hillary caught him on the phone talking to Barbara Bush and fired him on the spot, because he was doing personal business on the clock. Oh, yeah.
Put her on Colbert, who's another jerk. You could put her on all your talk shows in the country. There's a certain audience that watch these creeps. I mean, this New York liberalism is... the truth of the matter is, Brian, there's more than New York and there's more than L.A. I mean, and in between, the people are smart enough to know not to vote for these...
Well, the media think that's it. The media think there's 3 cities, right? New York, Los Angeles, and D.C. That's it.
Let's say something to you now. Let's get into the little nitty gritty here. You drop Periscope.
Yeah.
Who is known to hate conservatives and do everything in their power to block your success. I mean, you got to look over your shoulder with YouTube.
Well, I will look up. On the if you remind me, I will tell you in detail why I left Periscope. There was a very specific reason I'm not going to share on the air, but I will tell you on the cruise, and you'll never criticize me for leaving Periscope again.
From the YouTube, I mean, I hate this. I'm looking at you on YouTube, by the way.
Yes. Hey, I waved to you.
God, there was a guy that said I watched him, and he said they do everything like when you have alerts, they try even to sabotage you. If you
Well, listen here. Where am I going to go? Where are the conservative-controlled mainstream platforms, Richie? If you tell me one, I'll look into it.
Yeah, it's very different.
Yeah, exactly. A lot of conservatives almost are making a living out of whining about, all this oppression. And I don't spend. These are things out of my control. I keep on trucking. I am on almost 100 different platforms of different types doing different things. I'm on everything. I don't care, and I'm not exaggerating with that number. If you don't, because there are liberals involved, if trying to distance yourself from anything controlled by liberals is trying to only buy products made in America and not China. It's impossible.
Okay. Because I believe that this whole thing is going to blow up on the whole Democratic Party. I mean, we have the patience. We're sitting there. They're throwing darts at us at this time. But when Barr and this investigator come back from the Ukraine and all over, and Australia and all over the place, the American people are going to get a good taste of what the Democrats did under Barack Obama.
Not true.
They're going to be disgusted.
Not true.
This party is going down.
Well, Barr right now has been in Italy. He's been meeting with all these officials from around the world, doing which is very unusual. It's as if he is personally leading this FISA investigation, and
They don't even want him talking anymore. The guy that they say is crazy, an old man, they're trying to cut him off.
Yeah. Well, you know, so for Barr to be traveling, he was just in Italy over the weekend, which is where they got Papadopoulos. That's why he was in Italy investigating all of this. For Barr to be personally traveling around investigating this FISA warrant scandal, this is unheard of. I don't know if an attorney general has ever taken the lead like this in any type of investigation. Certainly not else. Usually they get briefed, but he's actually doing it. So something will be coming down hard. Yeah, but you know, they're taking so much time, Richie. Something's going to come down. It's going to come down big, but this would be a good time. 2 weeks from today?
2 weeks it starts.
What starts in 2 weeks?
The reports coming out from the inspector.
Oh, the inspector general. Well, I hope he's better than the. I hope his report's better than the director of national intelligence last week.
His report's coming out. I heard this.
I hope so. All right, Richie, take care. Take care. No, yeah. Oh, by the way, speaking of the cruise is coming up in just a month away. And yeah, November 8th, now that we're in October, next month is the Steve Kane cruise, 6 days on the high seas, Cayman Islands, Cozumel, Costa Maya. We are going to have a great time. And you can still join us. The ship is almost full. I was talking to Ian from Cruise and Travel Depot yesterday about this. I said, should we stop talking about the, coming on the cruise? And he says, no, he says there are some cabins left, but they are filling up, and they're filling up fast. He may call in today, if not today, later in the week, to talk about it. But, you would really enjoy this cruise, I'll tell you. It's very like-minded Trump people. We have a great time. I'm bringing my daughter, Emily, with me this time. She went with me on the first cruise. She couldn't make the last one, but she's going to be on this one. And it's a great, great time. And you'll get to hang out with me and Steve, and you get to see me when I'm not broadcasting so much. And maybe, you'll have a good time. We always do have a good time. Lots of activities planned. Call Ian over at Cruise and Travel Depot, 561-244-5779. His number listed at stevekaneshow.com, 561-244-5779. I know that something is coming down big with Barr because he's leading this investigation around the world. And when I saw over the weekend that he was in Italy working on the investigation, that made me very excited because Italy is where they jammed Papadopoulos up. And he talked about how the CIA have this whole training facility over there, and that's what they were using against him. And some things are going to come down, and they're going to come down fast, and they're going to come down hard, and there's going to be some big-name people. If the Attorney General himself is involved at this level of the investigation and not just getting briefed by investigators he's sending around, that tells me something major, that there is going to be don't you think this? I mean, he's doing the interviews himself. The Attorney General flew to Europe to meet with people about this. This is unheard of. Usually they send people and they get briefed. But for him to actually do it himself, Barr, makes me think that some major names are going to get indicted. And they want him to be leading it because the names of those who are going to be indicted are going to be so big that they need him to be taking the lead on it. All right, we'll take our last break of the first hour. I'm Brian Craig. You are listening to the Steve Kane Radio Show, Florida's longest-running radio show. On the radio since 1977, as Richie said, yeah, you can watch live on YouTube. Brian Craig on YouTube. I live stream. No more Periscope. I live stream every day on YouTube. And I have hundreds of YouTube videos. I put YouTube videos up during the day when I'm not on the radio, too. So Brian Craig on YouTube. Subscribe. Click that notification bell. Like all the videos. And check it out. Brian Craig on YouTube. All right, we'll take a quick break and be right back. Don't go anywhere.
Right now, the U.S. is in the midst of a deadly opioid epidemic. In South Florida alone, someone suffers an overdose every 2 hours, either from heroin, fentanyl, or some other prescription medication that's as close as the family medicine cabinet. In fact, Mom and Dad's medicine cabinet is frequently the gateway to the horrors of hardcore addiction down the road. Drug problems left unattended are only going to get worse. This is not something you can do on your own. You need expert professional help, and if your family is disintegrating in front of your eyes and you feel helpless, I'm here to tell you that help is available. Call my good friend Sal at the Edge Recovery, 561 area code 523-4325. This is his personal cell phone, 561-523-4325. If your loved one refuses treatment, the Edge Recovery will conduct an intervention and get them into the treatment plan that they need. The Edge Recovery offers every option from intervention to 30-day rehab to sober living to counseling with a licensed therapist as well.
Yeah, call
as
in
group
Coward Eddie,
therapy
whoever that
treatment.
is.
It's
I don't know who
covered by
Coward
most
Eddie is.
insurance, but no matter what your situation is, the Edge Recovery has options for you. Call Sal at the Edge Recovery. Do it today. 561 area code 523-4325. Again, that's Sal's personal cell phone. 561-523-4325.
Stop paying an outrageous fortune for your tires. Go easy on your budget and buy your tires at Friendly Tire of Margate, where they have all the major name brand tires like Goodyear and Firestone at discount prices that absolutely can't be beaten. Steve Kane's tires for his Sienna van at the other tire shops, $175 a tire. At Friendly Tire, just $75 a tire. Tires for my daughter Emily's car, $135 at the tire shops around town. Friendly Tire, only $65. That's more than a 50% savings. Those prices are out the door and on the road. Free mounting and balancing and no added charges. Friendly Tire have a great selection of used tires too at $30 for most sizes. Call my good buddy Mike at Friendly Tire. Tell him what you drive and he will give you a great low price right over the phone. 954-977-9445. 954-977-9445. Online, friendlytire.net.
Seniors, open enrollment is here. This is the right time of year you can make changes to your Medicare plan. Call Debbie at I Will Advisors, 954-753-8080, 954-753-8080, and have her review your Medicare plan, 954-753-8080.
Listen to the Steve Kane Show on Talk Radio.
All right, welcome back, everyone. I'm Brian Craig. This is the Steve Kane Radio Show, Florida's longest-running radio show on the radio since 1977. You know, today I woke up when my alarm went off. My alarm went off. It woke me up. And the reason that my alarm woke me up is because I'm sleeping the whole night through. And the reason I sleep the whole night through until my alarm, well, if you call 3:30 in the morning, the night through, but and I was up till 10. I do stay up too late watching television, but 5.5 hours sleep. But it's restful sleep. And that's what's so important at night, restful sleep, where you're not tossing and turning, when you sleep until the alarm goes off and you have to get up. And that's because of my pillow. My wife bought me my pillow for Christmas. I have been sleeping on it since Christmas night, and I love it. I bought one for my wife. I bought a My Pillow for my daughter. My dog Nina even has the My Pillow pet bed. I got a My Pillow for Steve because I wanted him to sleep on this incredible pillow so that we could talk about it on the radio together. And My Pillow is spectacular. Just last week, when I was at Attorney Barry Siegel's Revocable Living Trust workshop, I was talking to a listener. He was telling me how much he loves his My Pillow. And the My Pillow, there are so many things about it that make it so unique, right? Machine washable, 10-year warranty, all this stuff. By the way, there's a 60-day money-back guarantee, which is unheard of in this type of business. These guarantees and return policies and all this, warranties on a pillow. Well, you know, the thing about it is, you know, with that patented fill that you hear Mike Lindell talk about so much, your head and neck fit in the pillow perfect. gently. So you're not tossing and turning. You're not rolling over all the time. You're not shifting your head at night. And when you do that on an old-fashioned pillow, and I tried all the pillows, the foam pillows, the bamboo pillows, I tried all kinds of pillows. Every time you do that, even though you're not aware of it, you wake up and you lose that REM state and you have to start all over again. It's like having sleep apnea, actually, is what it's like. So listen, if you do not have a MyPillow, get one for yourself or get one as a gift for your spouse, for your children. To anyone in your family, they make great gifts. We give them as gifts to people all of the time. And the two MyPillows for the price of one special is incredible. It's an incredible deal. Go to mypillow.com, use the promo code KANE, K-A-N-E, right? And if you use the promo code KANE, K-A-N-E, at checkout, you can get two MyPillows for the price of one. You can also call and order by phone. And when you order by phone, make sure you spell KANE, K-A-N-E. All right? And the number to order by phone, two MyPillows for the price of one, 1-800-716-4879. 1-800-716-4879. Again, promo code KANE at checkout, both on the phone and at mypillow.com, K-A-N-E. You know, during the break, I just went to CNN.com, and boy, oh boy, you know, what a different perspective on what's going on. All right, this is CNN.com. First story, Trump floundering with impeachment defense. Trump floundering with impeachment defense. Somebody in the chat room on YouTube has asked me to block Eddie. I have not noticed Eddie. I don't want to block someone just because they're a liberal. You know, I used to be a liberal while I was on the air on this program. And there were many things that flipped me from being a liberal to a conservative, okay? But one of them was listening to myself on the radio, on the overnight rebroadcast, driving into work in the mornings, and I started to realize how stupid I sounded. So just, you know, and I have met so many listeners over the years who are, you know, we call them recovered liberals. You know what I mean? And I have people come up to me at appearances all the time and say, you know, I used to be a Democrat. I used to be a liberal. I was ready for Hillary. I was an Obama person. And I listened to the show for a long time. And then one day, you know, I just woke up and I realized, and I'm, you know, a decent person, a Republican. So no, just because someone's a liberal does not mean we want to get rid of them from listening to the program. They may join the winning team, right? The Trump train. But anyway, so listen to this. This is CNN. Here's the first headline. Trump floundering with impeachment defense. Right? What a story that is. What does that mean? Here's the story next to that one. Republican support for impeachment grows. What? So they had one person? Let me read this story. Who are the Republicans that are part of the growing calls for impeachment? Let's get some names here. Let's see here. This is CNN. Republican support for impeachment grows. That's the headline. Let's read the story. Americans are about evenly split over impeaching President Donald Trump and removing him from office, as support for that move has risen among independents and Republicans, according to a new CNN poll conducted. Plays. A CNN poll. Oh, yeah, well, that's a credible source. About half, 47%, support impeaching the president and removing him from office, up from 41% who felt that way in a CNN poll in May. The current level matches the high point for impeaching Trump in previous CNN pollings. The share who favor impeachment and removal now narrowly outpaces the share who say they don't. So they've got some vague push poll. Okay, so that's a BS story. I know, a CNN poll. Our own poll is telling us that support has grown. Our own fake news poll. That's right, our own fake poll and our own fake news. You know, if there were, you know, so far as these polls that they're floating around, you know, I don't follow polls. Steve's into polls because Steve's a gambler and that's a numbers thing. You know, I think that's why Steve likes polls. I don't like polls. I never did. But if these polls were accurate, what the news media would do is go out on the street and talk to Republicans on the street and and even do standard live man on the street interviews and ask people walking down the street their views on impeaching President Trump. But they're not doing that. If there were people in these numbers on the streets who support not just impeaching President Trump, but also removing him from office, they would be on the street talking to these people, not in some phony town hall or some phony poll. I'm talking about walking down the streets of American cities. And they're not doing that because there really is not that support. If they ever do it, I don't think they'll risk doing it live. You know. Now, I did see Mitch McConnell said last night that he would have to take up impeachment, and people are freaking out over that. That's a very vague comment. You know, Mitch McConnell is saying he would have to take up impeachment if passed by the House. What does that mean exactly? You know, people want to immediately say, well, that means a trial. I would say no. There's probably, when impeachment is delivered to the Senate from the House, there is probably some formality that they have to go through to decide not to have the Senate trial. So he very well could mean that. Okay, so that's one. So here's the front page of CNN. The president's rare struggle to control the narrative dims any hopes he can avoid an impeachment vote. This is CNN. Wow. Well, I mean, you read the CNN headlines here at CNN.com, and it's over. Trump should resign and leave. House Dems argue Mueller grand jury secrets would help impeachment probe. Intel watchdog pushes back against Trump. Controversy thrusts little-known Trump appointee into the limelight. This is all on the first page of CNN.com. Here's another one. Worse than Nixon, ex-Trump advisor says. Worse than Nixon? Who is this advisor? Worse than Nixon. Former advisor to the Trump pre-transition team, J.W. Verrett, tells CNN's Brianna Keilar, I hate that Brianna, she's a nasty woman, that President Trump's Ukraine controversy is a lot worse than former President Nixon's. Okay, whatever. Okay, this is CNN. So he didn't get a job in the White House. He wasn't even in the transition team. He was with the pre-transition team. He was probably trying to infiltrate as a spy. Colbert to Hillary, it's time to lock Trump up. This is all front page CNN, and I'm reading these stories in the left-hand column in a row. Here's the next one. Fact check. Trump falsely claims whistleblower rules changed. Well, that's true. They did change them where you could have a third-party person. Next story, CNN. I'm just reading these in order. Why it's so scary when Trump tweets about civil war. Well, I don't see CNN getting upset at Saturday Night Live for that thing they did during the news that I'm not even going to share with you. So if you go to CNN, it's over for Trump. It's over. Let's see what Fox is doing. The Trump haters over at Fox. Let's see what they have on there. Because CNN, it's over. I mean, it's worse than Nixon. They got some Trump guy who's even saying it. Hold on, FoxNews.com. Let's see here. Okay, here's the headline on Fox News. Fox News exclusive. Golf pics of Biden's on Hamptons with Ukraine gas exec slices Joe's claim. Graham calls out New York Times report. Yes. So, you know, it's a little more positive and also a little more realistic on FoxNews.com. They still hate Trump, and I don't trust them. I'm not watching them. But if you look at CNN, it's over, man. It's over. And everything President Trump does. You know, someone put a montage online. I'm not going to play it for you because it's more of a visual to really understand it. Maybe I'll retweet it later. But someone put a montage online of the mainstream liberal media and their calls for impeachment. And they were actually talking about impeaching President Trump in the mainstream media, CNN, MSNBC, ABC News. They were talking about impeaching President Trump before he took the oath of office. And they've been talking about it nonstop since election night. You know, so this is something they've been pushing for a long time now. All right, it's 7 o'clock in the morning. I'm Brian Craig. You are listening to Florida's longest-running radio show, The Steve Kane Show, on the radio since 1977. We are live in Morning Drive. weekday mornings from 6 until 9 a.m. And you can listen to us live on the radio on AM 1470 on your radio dial here in South Florida. That's right, AM 1470, as well as 95.3 FM. We're also on the air with overnight rebroadcasts, midnight till 6 a.m., 7 nights a week. And you can listen to us those ways as well. And live in the morning and overnight, you can also listen to us on the iHeartRadio app and the TuneIn app. Search for us by our station call letters WWNN. All right, we'll take a break. Hour number 2 begins now.
1870 is WWNN Pompano Beach and 95.3 FM W237BD Boca Raton, the Health and Wealth Radio Network.
Stop paying an outrageous fortune for your tires. Go easy on your budget and buy your tires at Friendly Tire of Margate, where they have all the major name brand tires like Goodyear and Firestone at discount prices that absolutely can't be beaten. Steve Gaines tires for his Sienna van at the other tire shops, $175 a tire. At Friendly Tire, just $75 a tire. Tires for my daughter Emily's car, $135 at the tire shops around town. Friendly Tire, only $65. That's more than a 50% savings. Those prices are out the door and on the road. Free mounting and balancing and no added charges. Friendly Tire has a great selection of used tires too at $30 for most sizes. Call my good buddy Mike at
Steve
Friendly
Kane Show.
Tire. Tell him what you drive and he will give you a great
Steve Kane
low
Show.
price right over the phone.
Hey.
954-977.
Nick in Baltimore's on hold.
954-977-9445. Online, friendlytire.net.
Hello, my name is Todd Shalleck, Florida licensed and bonded public adjuster in the state of Florida. I work for Amerilos Incorporated. I'm the founder, and I've been working since 1993 as your public adjuster. Amerilos Incorporated has helped thousands of homeowners get tens of millions of dollars more than what their insurance companies paid them. We offer a second opinion on your claim. If you suffer damage
what's
from
going on here?
Hurricane Matthew, Irma, or Michael, it's not too late to get a second opinion and get the money that you deserve to get your house back in shape again. I'm sure you'll agree that you want to work with someone that has experience in this industry. I've been doing this since 1993, and our service is very valuable because if we don't get you any additional funds...
Oh, Eddie Munster blocked himself.
Write this number down.
He blocked himself.
644-LOSS. That's 877.
I just blocked him again. If you're gonna pull a stunt like that.
If you had a loss, call Amerilos. One of our adjusters are standing by to make that valuable appointment with you. You deserve to get a second opinion. We work for you, not the insurance company. Call right now. 877-644-LOSS.
Todd Shalleck, Florida license number 823-9272. This is Brian Craig, and I want to tell you about Dr. Mitch Matez at the Boca Raton Center for Age Management. He's my anti-aging doctor. That's right, I have an anti-aging doctor now. This year, I turned 45, and I was starting
Locked
to slow
himself.
down a bit.
What
I
a
met with
weirdo.
Dr. Matez, and he found that my testosterone level was low. We men begin losing our testosterone starting at age 30, and it goes down every year after that. Dr. Matez told me I was approaching the beginning of andropause. That's the male equivalent of menopause. I began bioidentical hormone pellet therapy. They're tiny little pellets inserted under my skin, and now my testosterone levels are being restored to where they were when I was 25 years old. Thanks to Dr. Matez, I have more energy, I feel better, I look better, my love life, it's better, and my wife, she's thanking Dr. Matez too. Bioidentical hormone pellet therapy isn't just for men, it works wonders for women by reversing the symptoms of menopause, like the night sweats and the mood swings. Men and women, you don't have to live with the negative effects of aging, like loss of energy, loss of sexual desire, weight gain, or menopause. Call Dr. Matez and meet with him about bioidentical hormone pellet therapy. It works for me, and it'll work for you too. He's located in Boca, and his website is hormonetherapybocaraton.com, or give him a call, 561-953-5490, 561-953-5490, and tell him Brian Craig sent you.
The Steve Kane Show is brought to you by attorney Barry Siegel at the Siegel Law Group. Avoid probate with a revocable living trust. $350 for single people, $450 for married couples. When you complete your trust with attorney Barry Siegel, he will give you a $100 gift certificate to Tavolino Italian Restaurant in Coral Springs. The Siegel Law Group, with 9 offices in South Florida, including Boca Raton, Plantation, and Coral Springs. Call 1-855-FLA-3782. The opinions expressed on the following sponsored program are strictly those of the host, guests, and callers, and not necessarily those of this station, its staff, management, or sponsors.
The Steve Kane Show is live in Morning Drive, 6 till 9 a.m. weekdays, and overnights, midnight till 6 a.m., 7 nights a week. To call the show toll-free, 1...
Oh, man. I was just, welcome back. Hour number 2 has begun. I'm Brian. You're listening to The Steve Kane Show. I was just reading this story about Stacey Dash. Stacey Dash, charged with domestic battery after she called 911. Says here, the Daily Mail reported Stacey Dash called 911 to her home, alleging that her husband placed her in a chokehold. But Stacey Dash was the one who was put in handcuffs and charged after police reported seeing red scratch marks on her husband's upper arm. She's also accused of pushing her husband. She was taken into custody. Stacey Dash claims she was defending herself against her husband. She was arrested because she didn't have any marks, but her husband did. On the 911 call, Stacey Dash can be heard saying a verbal disagreement in the home escalated and involved Marty's 15-year-old daughter. The actress told the 911 dispatcher, "We were all arguing. I asked his daughter to get out of my face because she was in my face. He put me into a chokehold." You know, this is the problem when people remarry and they're step-parents. Step-parents and step-kids rarely get along. There is always conflict. There is always bitterness. And there's always problems, okay? And, you know, if you've got kids and you and your wife or you and your husband split, don't get remarried till your kids are grown up and out of the house on their own. And even then there's problems. So Marty, that's the husband, took to Twitter following the arrest of his wife, Stacey Dash, writing, "Anyone who would falsely use law enforcement to destroy another person's life deserves exactly what they get." Psalms 57:6. I don't know. I know a lot of guys that would like to be beaten up by Stacey Dash. Wouldn't you? Agree with that? I'm not saying I want to be beat up by Stacey Dash, but I think a lot of people would think, you know, I got to feel bad for Stacey Dash because I got to tell you, she is one of the most beautiful black actresses ever out of Hollywood. And she's one of the, and she's a beautiful woman, white or black, but so far as black actresses go, I would put her up there probably in the top 3 to 5 most beautiful black actresses in the history of Hollywood. Would you do that? And her career after Clueless didn't really go very far. And she had a bit of a comeback when she said some conservative things on Twitter, and they had her on Fox a few times. And I saw her on Outnumbered, and she just, yeah, I know she, you know, she just wasn't up there mentally. I mean, she was out of her league on Fox, and she didn't really look that great up there, and it didn't work out for her. But you know what Stacey Dash should do? She should write a tell-all book, an honest tell-all book about her time in Hollywood. It'd be a bestseller because I am sure that she's got some stories to tell. You know, when you're an actress in Hollywood and you're as beautiful as Stacey Dash, believe me, you've got stories to tell, right? All right. Oh, look who we have on the line. The man who predicted months ago that Hillary Clinton would run for president. We all laughed at him. But now people are talking about it, including Steve Bannon. Nick in Baltimore was the first to say it. Hillary's going to run.
Good morning. I don't know. It's funny.
She's a good actress, very good actress.
Look at Hillary Clinton, and she won't go away.
Yeah, I know. And she figures it's her last, like a cold. Yeah, like a cold. Yeah, I know. Yeah. You know, she is a tragic person, though. I mean, look at the life of mental abuse that she voluntarily put up with for power. I mean, I would say she's not sane because she's not sane.
But her criminality goes way back. I mean, look at the Watergate hearings.
Well, yeah, that's right.
She was fired from that.
Yeah, she was fired. You know, think about this. Hillary Clinton was so connected. She was on the Watergate team, and she was leaking information. Was she leaking information to Ted Kennedy's office or information from his office? I can't remember, but she was fired for leaking information that was privileged and confidential. You know, but she had a big comeback though.
I think it was the other way. I think she was leaking information to
Ted Kennedy. Yeah, because back then, well, Ted Kennedy still had fantasies of being president back in '73. Even after his vehicular homicide, he still thought he could be president.
You know, I have to tell you, I was 11 years old in 1968, and I remember Ted Kennedy getting on television before the American people and trying to explain away what happened.
Yeah. You know, I always knew how bad it was with Ted Kennedy, but there's a movie that they made about it a couple years ago, Chappaquiddick, and it detailed things. I didn't realize what lengths he went to cover up the homicide. When, you know, he went to that hotel area and made contact with a guy at the hotel so he would have an alibi and all these things. I didn't realize what lengths. You know, they were so pushing Kennedy. I remember in the late 70s, there was a documentary that was on television about Nostradamus, and it was hosted by Orson Welles. And they would go through all these Nostradamus predictions, you know, and Orson Welles had one whole segment. It was on the Kennedys, and Nostradamus had predicted, according to Orson Welles, that Ted Kennedy would be the nominee in 1980. Now, this was before 1980, but they were all, even after he killed that girl, they were always pushing for Ted Kennedy.
Yeah. I remember, what was it? He was up against Carter, right?
Yes.
They were fighting, and then ultimately he turned around and supported Carter.
Well, you know, things have really turned around, though, in the last 24 hours. You know, they're now, Schiff is really under some fire first for his lying to Congress at the opening of the hearing, and the second is they're bringing back that phone call with the Russian radio host that were pretending to be Ukrainian government officials, and he took the call. So here you have Schiff thinking he was colluding with Ukrainian government officials to find information on a political opponent, Donald Trump.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You know, I was looking at the chat before I called in, and, you know, they have it right in the chat, you know. Think about this. Think about what they're trying to do, the Democrats, with their cohorts in the media. They're trying to derail the investigation. I saw Richie had that in the chat, and he's right. The fact is, you see what they're doing. They're trying to discredit Barr, and they're trying to derail Durham.
Mm-hmm.
It's not going to work.
Well, yeah, and, you know, the fact that Barr is traveling the world leading this investigation into the FISA warrants and all of that, I think that's historic and unprecedented. I've never known of an attorney. Now, attorney generals, you know, have done some scuzzy stuff over the years, I'm sure, but I've never known one to take the lead in an investigation before like this.
No, that's
yeah.
Say one thing.
Mm-hmm.
After these people, they have to. If they don't, if these people get away with this, it's the country. What does it tell everybody? That, you know, criminality wins? You can't have a Hillary Clinton.
Well, you know, yeah, Hillary Clinton. You know, I was talking about this in the first hour. Now that Hillary's running, okay. I mean, come on. You know, I mean, now that it's almost official. You know, the ready for Hillary again. This is the thing with this operation. I was talking to Steve yesterday about how it looks like a Comey op because a third person leaker, you know, like he did to the New York Times all the time. And I'm thinking this whole phone call and everything is now a Hillary Clinton campaign operation to get Biden out of the race so she can come in and be the savior. And she very well, to me, it looks like promised Comey that he'll be FBI director under a Hillary Clinton presidency, and he may be working with her on this.
It could be, but if you take a look at what they're doing, Sunday night I was watching Life, Liberty, and Levin.
Yeah.
And you know how on the bottom they scroll across the news headlines.
Mm-hmm.
Fox was running this bogus story, and it is a bogus story, trying to discredit Victoria Tunzing and her husband Joe DeGen.
Mm-hmm.
You know, saying that they were working off the books with Giuliani, and you know, to try dirt on Biden. Well, that you know, the night before or a couple nights before, Victoria Tunzing pulled up that memo, you know, the cover letter with the supposed whistleblower, who's really a leaker.
Mm-hmm.
And she read the footnotes, you know, the lawyer footnotes below, mentioning George Soros' organization and all this other stuff. And it's funny how they're trying to discredit her now. They're trying to take out everybody who's investigating, you know, this whole operation.
Well, you know, for Barr to be personally leading this investigation, traveling to Italy and elsewhere, to me, that tells me there's going to be big names coming down with the indictments, because if it wasn't the big players, the A-listers, the Comey level, I don't think I think Durham and other investigators would be doing it. I don't think Barr would be so personally involved in this if it wasn't going to be some of the A-lister names getting the indictment, like a Brennan, a Comey, a Susan Rice. You know, there's some big indictments coming for Barr to be involved. And you know, if you watch the mainstream media, I don't think they're even covering what Barr's been doing. Oh, by the way, before I let you go, Nick, well, you know, just before we go, you know, you're Nick in Baltimore. I noticed Baltimore was in the news for a while about all the garbage up there in the city, and then the story disappeared. We haven't heard anyone talking about Baltimore in weeks now. That was supposed to be a big Trump scandal.
Still working on it here, and I think Trump has targeted this place for a reason, and that is, you know, we're 40 miles from Washington,
mm-hmm.
and that's why they had that Republican retreat. I said that before. They had that retreat a few weeks ago here.
Yeah.
He's got his eyes on this place and all these blue cities, by the way.
Well, you know, you've got a generation, you know, we are talking about the black vote, you know, you got a generation of black Americans who grew up in the age of Obama, and all these Elijah Cummings, John Lewis civil rights thing is such, it's not even on their radar. They don't even have that experience. And all they have are empty promises by Democrats. And they see that the success that Trump, I mean, look at all the great success Donald Trump is having with what he's going up against. Could you imagine if they treated him decently, how much he would have gotten done? Oh, the press are the worst.
Big problem in this country is the media.
They're a poison on society, the media. But you know, but the media think they're the saviors of American democracy. But they're a poison. All right, Nick in Baltimore. Thanks for the call. All right, Nick in Baltimore, the first to tell us Hillary Clinton would be running for president. Now everyone's saying it, but Nick said it first months ago, and we did all laugh. You're crazy, Nick. And he was right on the money. We got to listen more to Nick in Baltimore. All right, hey, it's 19 minutes after 7. My name's Brian Craig. This is the Steve Kane Radio Show, Florida's longest-running radio show on the radio since 1977. We'll be right back.
This is Roger Simon, reverse mortgage specialist at South Florida's Choice Mortgage Bank. I've found that reverse mortgages can be a very valuable financial vehicle for seniors. I truly change their lives for the better. In fact, I have a reverse mortgage myself, and it's certainly improved my life. Everyone's situation, of course, is different, but I've found over and over that a reverse mortgage can solve many of a senior's financial problems. It's a
Nick's good
tool
caller.
to allow you to age in place. And if you're a senior like me, that's a primary goal. By aging in place, I mean that you're financially able to stay in the home you love for the rest of your life. So if you own your home, with or without a mortgage, and if you want to know how a reverse mortgage can change your life by giving you the financial freedom freedom you need. Find out how by giving me a call anytime at 561-441-2730. That's 561-441-2730. I look forward to hearing from you.
Rates and terms subject to change daily without notice. Equal housing lender NMLS 166254.
Seniors, open enrollment is here. This is the one time of year you can make changes to your Medicare plan. Call Debbie at I Will Advisors, 954-753-8080, 954-753-8080, and have her review your Medicare plan, 954-753-8080.
Stop paying an outrageous fortune for your tires. Go easy on your budget and buy your tires at Friendly Tire of Margate, where they have all the major name brand tires like Goodyear and Firestone at discount prices that absolutely can't be beaten. Steve Kane's tires for his Sienna van at the other tire shops, $175 a tire. At Friendly Tire, just $75 a tire. Tires for my daughter Emily's car, $135 at the tire shops around town. Friendly Tire, only $65. That's more than a 50% savings. Those prices are out the door and on the road. Free mounting and balancing and no added charges. Friendly Tire have a great selection of used tires too at $30 for most sizes. Call my good buddy Mike at Friendly Tire. Tell him what you drive and he will give you a great low price right over the phone. 954-977-9445. 954-977-9445. Online, friendlytire.net.
Hello, my name is Todd Shallett, Florida licensed and bonded public adjuster in the state of Florida. I work for Amerilos Incorporated. I'm the founder, and I've been working since 1993 as your public adjuster. Amerilos Incorporated has helped thousands of homeowners get tens of millions of dollars more than what their insurance companies paid them. We offer a second opinion on your claim. If you suffer damage from Hurricane Matthew, Irma, or Michael, it's not too late to get a second opinion and get the money that you deserve to get your house back in shape again. I'm sure you'll agree that you want to work with someone that has experience in this industry. I've been doing this since 1993, and our service is very valuable because if we don't get you any additional funds, there's no charge for what we do. Write this number down, 877-644-LOSS. That's 877-644-5677. If you had a loss, call Amerilos. One of our adjusters is standing by to make that valuable appointment with you. You deserve to get a second opinion. We work for you, not the insurance company. Call right now. 877-644-LOSS.
Todd Shallett, Florida license number 8239272.
The Steve Kane Show is brought to you by attorney Barry Siegel at the Siegel Law Group. Avoid probate with a revocable living trust. $350 for single people, $450 for married couples. When you complete your trust with attorney Barry Siegel, he will give you a $100 gift certificate to Tavolino Italian Restaurant in Coral Springs. The Siegel Law Group, with 9 offices in South Florida, including Boca Raton, Plantation, and Coral Springs. Call 1-855-FLA-3782. Listen to the Steve Kane.
All right, welcome back. I'm Brian Craig. You are listening to the Steve Kane Radio Show, Florida's longest running radio show on the radio since 1977. I was just reading this story in Glenn Beck's The Blaze. I've not been to The Blaze in a while. I gave up on The Blaze really when I gave up on Glenn Beck. I really gave up on I was never a big Glenn Beck person, but I just saw this story. Dallas man allegedly shoots burglar, then goes back to bed. Now he's in jail on murder charges. Let's see, what happened here? He shot someone and went to bed? Oh boy, let's see, who is this guy? It says here, this is at The Blaze. A Dallas man heard a burglar trying to break into the storage shed behind his home early Thursday morning, so he grabbed his gun and went outside. The altercation left the homeowner in jail on murder charges, according to the Dallas Morning News. James Michael Meyer, age 72, said he confronted a man who was trying to break open the shed with a pickaxe. Yelling at him to stop and not to come any closer, the burglar did not listen, instead taking a few steps towards Mr. Meyer. So Meyer fired his handgun at him once, sending the suspect running toward a park behind the home. Myers says he shot one more time in the direction of the man into the night, and then went back to bed without calling the police. The incident occurred around 5 a.m. As the sun was coming up, Meyer looked from his house toward the park and noticed what he initially thought was a black bag in the distance, so he went to investigate. He found the dead body. He called the police around 7 a.m. Police arrived at the scene to find the body with a bullet wound in the back of the neck and blood that was dry. Investigators didn't find the spent shell casing outside, and Myers informed them he had thrown them in the trash. According to the affidavit, the second shot into the night was the one that killed the burglar, and it was fired after the threat of serious bodily injury against him was over because the burglar had dropped the pickaxe and he ran away. Myers' wife called an attorney for legal advice. During the 911 call, Meyer would not answer dispatcher's questions. Did she call the lawyer before? Yeah, she did. Myers' wife reportedly called an attorney for legal advice before he called 911. That was smart. During the 911 call, police say Meyer would not answer dispatcher's questions. Neighbors reported to the police that they heard 3 gunshots, contradicting Myers' account that he only shot twice. Myers was arrested, charged with murder. He's in the Dallas County Jail on $150,000 bond. Well, they gave him a bond. Well, I'll tell you this about that. When they say, well, when he fired the second shot, the threat was over because he had dropped the pickaxe. I know on paper, and when you're calmly reading a story from the Blaze that's a reprint from the Dallas Morning News, it sounds unreasonable that after the guy dropped the pickaxe and ran off that he fired again. But when you're in the heat of a situation, you've got the adrenaline pumping, you're not really thinking all that clearly. I wouldn't charge this guy with murder. I don't think, based on what I know here. I think it's odd that he fired his weapon and didn't call 911 right away. So I don't know if that seems a bit strange to me. But it doesn't look like murder to me. When you're in a heated situation, you can't, when somebody is there, they're threatening you with a pickaxe. And let me tell you, I think someone with a pickaxe in many ways is someone to be more afraid of than someone with a gun. I remember this guy, when I was in high school, I had this job in high school, and there was a guy working there that was on parole for, he had committed a robbery, and he used to scare the hell out of me. It wasn't an armed robbery, it was a strong arm robbery, which means he robbed the place with just his fist, and he gave the guy the tune-up at this convenience store that he was robbing. And when someone uses their hands or they use something like a pickaxe as opposed to a gun, they're not as afraid. A gun kind of removes you a little bit. With the pickaxe, with your hands, you got to get involved. So the guy with the pickaxe is in many ways, to me, more threatening than a guy with a gun. I know that might sound a little bizarre to people, but that's somebody that has a little more guts to do something physical to me because they don't need the gun between them. And for him to be charged with murder because he fired after the guy ran away, give me a break. You've got this guy who is breaking into your place, right? It gets heated. He's got a weapon, a deadly weapon, a pickaxe. You fire, and you can't calmly say to yourself, well, the stand your ground or the castle doctrine, I think they call it out there, no longer applies because at this point, he has passed this step and he has dropped this. You're not thinking rationally. The whole incident happened because of this dead burglar with his weapon had broken into the guy's place. So now I wouldn't charge him with murder. I don't know if I would charge him with anything. I don't know if I would charge him with anything. And, if this went to a jury trial in Texas, they might have a hard time getting a conviction. If I were on this guy's jury and they were charging him with murder, it would be not guilty, just based on what I'm hearing here. Unless he has a history of shooting people dead. If he's got a long history of doing things like this, I'd revisit it. But based on what we know here, I would be not guilty in a situation like that. But another thing comes up, though, about guns. You know, I'm a strong Second Amendment guy. I have owned guns my entire life, but is it the best thing to do to take out your pistol and get involved in something like that? I mean, you know, to me, if I don't have a shed, but if I had a shed and some guy was going through my shed and I saw him out there, I would call 911 and wait for the police. I wouldn't grab my pistol and go confront him. And I think a lot of times, you know, this is something that, you know, conservatives aren't supposed to talk this way because because of gun rights. But having a gun gives people the courage to do things that they normally wouldn't do. Okay, and you know, Steve and I took an incredible gun course many years ago, and it was a concealed weapons course, but it was an advanced one, and it taught you how to defend yourself in a gunfight. And it was pretty detailed. We were learning how to do close quarters gunfighting in a situation where there's a home invasion, totally different than anything I'd ever done before. And we went out on the gun range, but we didn't have lights on because, you know, when you're in these situations, there's no lights and you're not able to squint and hold the target, and you hold a gun differently in a situation like this because you don't want it to be taken away from you by the bad guy. But one thing that this instructor was an English guy who instructed SAS in the UK when he was over there, which is their special forces, right? Strategic Air Services over there. So it's a top guy. And he talked about this. He says that, you know, if you've got your concealed weapon with you and you're in a parking lot and someone's approaching you, get in your car and leave. You know, he talked to us about this a lot, how a lot of people that have legal guns, concealed weapon, or they have a gun at home, you know, something happens like this guy in the shed and they go out because they got a gun and they investigate. No way. Now, if he's in your house, you get the gun, you get with the wife, and you do what you got to. But you call the police and you wait. That's just me. I mean, that's just me. But this guy here, charged with murder, no way, not guilty. I don't care that he shot after the guy dropped the pickaxe. I mean, how can you expect someone whose space and property has been invaded by an armed burglar with a deadly weapon to think rationally in his defense? You're going to shoot until they're gone and away from you. So I think they overcharged him out there. But, you know, a lot of times what happens is, you know, the law enforcement and prosecutors, they don't want someone to go to jail, so they overcharge them so that they get an acquittal. Like George Zimmerman was overcharged, you know, so they overcharge people, assuming they're going to, or hoping they're going to get a conviction, and that way they satisfy everyone, right? The activist, okay, we brought the guy to trial, and then the Second Amendment people, they've satisfied them too, you know, so it's kind of a way that prosecutors oftentimes use to play both sides of the issue. All right, hey, it's 7:33 in the morning. I'm Brian Craig. You are listening to Florida's longest running radio show, The Steve Kane Show. Our number is toll free from anywhere, 1-888-GO-KANE 1-888-465-2631. We'll be right back.
This is Brian Craig, and I want to tell you about Dr. Mitch Matez at the Boca Raton Center for Age Management. He's my anti-aging doctor. That's right, I have an anti-aging doctor now. This year, I turned 45, and I was starting to slow down a bit. I met with Dr. Matez, and he found that my testosterone level was low.
What good does a gun do if it doesn't have? But you can't. Where can you not drive with a gun? Doesn't do you any good if it's not loaded. What's the point of the gun? You gonna throw it at him? Are there places with a concealed weapon that you can't have it loaded?
Bioidentical hormone pellet therapy. They're tiny little pellets inserted under my skin. And now my testosterone levels are being restored to where they were when I was 25 years old. Thanks to Dr. Matez, I have more energy, I feel better, I look better, my love life, it's better, and my wife, she's thanking Dr. Matez too. Bioidentical hormone pellet therapy isn't just for men. It works wonders for women by reversing the symptoms of menopause, like the night sweats and the mood swings. Men and women, you don't have to live with the negative effects of aging, like loss of energy, loss of sexual desire, weight gain, or menopause. Call Dr. Matez and meet with him about bioidentical hormone pellet therapy. It works for me, and it'll work for you too. He's located in Boca, and his website is hormonetherapybocaraton.com. Or give him a call, 561-953-5490. 561-953-5490. And tell him Brian Craig sent you.
Seniors, open enrollment is here. This is the one time of year you can make changes to your Medicare plan. Call Debbie at I Will Advisors, 954-753-8080, 954-753-8080, and have her review your Medicare plan, 954-753-8080.
If you suffer with diabetes, did you know there's a 25% chance that you will develop a foot ulcer at some point in your life? And foot ulcers, when you have diabetes, can lead to severe health consequences up to and
Are you
including
reading my mind, Rob? Because I just pulled that story up. That's the next story I'm going to talk about the New York City illegal alien. Are you seeing a reflection from my computer? Can you see my screen back there through the Apple?
My good friends at the Soul
I got that story
Authority,
right here.
At the Soul Authority, at little or no
I'm
cost,
serious.
you can receive your very own pair of therapeutic shoes.
I'm not
made
kidding.
Especially for diabetics. You're probably not aware, but as a diabetic Medicare recipient, you are entitled to one
That is
pair
bizarre.
of high-quality diabetic shoes with 3 custom inserts per year. These are not the ugly Frankenstein shoes. These are
Here I am,
name brand shoes. They're stylish. They'll provide you with the extra width and extra depth to stop diabetic foot problems before they begin. Oftentimes, amputation due to diabetes is preventable, and one of the preventable measures that is most effective is wearing the proper shoes. Call the Soul Authority at 954-597-7060 or online at thesoulauthority.com. That's THESOLE authority.com. Tell them Steve Kane sent you.
The Steve Kane Show is brought to you by attorney Barry Siegel at the Siegel Law Group. Avoid probate with a revocable living trust. $350 for single people, $450 for married couples. When you complete your trust with attorney Barry Siegel, he will give you a $100 gift certificate to Tavolino Italian Restaurant in Coral Springs. The Siegel Law Group, with 9 offices in South Florida, including Boca Raton, Plantation, and Coral Springs. Call 1-855-FLA-3782.
Listen to the Steve Kane Show on iHeartRadio. Just search.
All right, welcome back. I'm Brian Craig. You are listening to Florida's longest running radio show, The Steve Kane Show, on the radio since 1997, or 1977. I said 97. No, 1977. I misspoke. Hey, what are you going to do, huh? Shoot me? I don't have a pickaxe. I see a lot of these crazy stories, like this one I'm going to share now, about the liberal PC crowd. That are, the PC crowd, we used to laugh at them. But what's happened with these politically correct lunatics is they've made their way into public office. And some of them are in Congress. And things that we used to laugh about are becoming a reality. And when you see these stories, you look at the way that the left operate in this country on pretty much everything. And I don't understand how anyone is a liberal. Listen to this one. You may have heard this story. I don't think we've talked about it, though. The New York City Commission on Human Rights said using the term illegal alien with the intent to demean, humiliate, or harass a person can cost offenders up to $250,000, according to a new legal enforcement guidance that the agency released last week. The guidance defines discrimination on the basis of perceived or actual immigration status and national origin under the New York City human rights law in public accommodations, employment, and housing. Fines of up to $250,000 can be assessed for each act of willful discrimination, and damages are available to complainants. The guidance says harassing or discriminating against someone for their use of another language or their limited English proficiency and threatening to call ICE on a person based on a discriminatory motive are considered to be a violation of the law. Yeah, no free speech. New York City, no free speech. The news release said the guidance reaffirms protections already in place, provides specific examples of discrimination in housing, public accommodation, and employment, and that New York City human rights laws go further than many U.S. Cities do, and it goes on and on. What did Mayor de Blasio says? I guess he says, this is what de Blasio said: if you want to come into the ultimate city of immigrants and try to spread hate, you will face the consequences. Now, luckily, this isn't like a real law, I guess. Is this a real law in the city of New York? Illegal aliens? Oh, my goodness. You know, there was an episode of, did you ever see this? Remember Mork and Mindy? There was an episode of Mork and Mindy about illegal aliens. Something was going on. I was a kid when Mork and Mindy was on, so I have a vague recollection about it, memory of it, but I still remember it. Mork, remember Mork from Mork? Robin Williams, the late Robin Williams. There was some issue in the news in Denver, because that's where he lived in Denver, about illegal aliens. And he had realized that he's an alien without documents, and he was an illegal alien. So he went down to the immigration office to register as an illegal space alien from Ork, and it was a pretty funny thing. And they had this whole bigotry thing going on. Of course, the guy at I'm sure this is on YouTube. The immigration official was a bigot, and it was a very liberal show. And this is what I remember. It's so funny. So at the end of the episode, Mork and Mindy, they bring in all these different immigrants, and all of them are, different skin colors and religions. They're dressed in different clothes, and they're doing this to, promote diversity and show this immigration official how racist he is. And they bring in all these, there's like a Mexican guy, there's a, and then this Asian woman walks in, and when the Asian woman walks into, the music changes. They play that Asian music. I can't do it, but you know what I'm talking about. They played this Asian instrumental just for a moment while the Asian woman walked in. And how racist can you be? How racist can you be? But I know it's pretty crazy, isn't it? They're calling him a racist, but they play Asian music when a Asian woman walks into a room, and that's not racist. But, forgetting about Mork and Mindy for a second, what's happened with the American left in this country, like this story here, a lot of people get upset at these stories. This is the best. This is the best. Trump derangement syndrome has driven liberals to these extremes where they're empowering this lunatic fringe, right? Like if you question someone's immigration status in New York City, you're now committing some type of crime. That doesn't fly well with people. I saw a story this morning about how much money California is spending on educating illegals. It's like $2 billion or something. And the left have lost complete touch with reality. Okay? You see it with this impeachment push. When they have these polls, 53% support the impeachment of the president, 47% support removal from office of the president. They believe their own lies. And they think that the entire country feel like Robert De Niro. They feel like the entire country thinks, when it comes to illegals, feels like AOC and this Human Rights Commission in New York. And, when you are out of touch with the pulse of the American people, you are done as a political party. Nancy Pelosi said the other day that impeaching Trump is worth losing Congress. And I heard some people talking, wow, she really must believe in it. She's really willing to take the risk. I don't think so. I think Nancy Pelosi expects to lose the House of Representatives. And, the internal polling that we don't see, the real scientific polling that she sees, shows how incredibly popular Trump is. And she's doing a little bit of foreshadowing. She's setting the stage so that when she is no longer the Madam Speaker of this whorehouse of representatives, right? She calls herself Madam Speaker. She's foreshadowing the loss of the House of Representatives by saying it's not that we have been rejected because of our liberal lunacy or because of me or my failure. It's because we did the right thing. And let me tell you something. Nancy Pelosi is a very smart woman. She is a very shrewd woman. She's very politically savvy. Okay? She's not like the Squad and Adam Schiff and all these losers. And she is setting the stage to explain the Democrats losing. It's because we stood up to Trump and he did Ukrainian election interference. by having them spy on a political opponent or dig up dirt on a political opponent of hers. She is very smart, and I read that completely. I don't know if any of you had that. Now everybody will say now that makes sense, and say that they had that same thought when I just shared it with you. But I heard a lot of people talk. Wow, she's really believes in this. She's willing to risk. No, she knows she's going to lose the House of Representatives, and she wants to have an excuse for losing the House of Representatives. The only thing that I really worry about with Trump is this. It's after Trump's second term. We can't worry about it right now. It's a few years off. We'll have to worry about it then. But the Democrats will eventually be back in power. And when the Democrats are back in power, they're going to be on revenge mode like we have never seen them. And it's not going to be fun, and it's going to be scary, and it's going to be a terrible, terrible thing. Okay, but we got to enjoy the winning of Trump before we get to that. But Nancy Pelosi, to me, Nancy Pelosi is confessing that she knows she's going to lose the House of Representatives. She's going to blame Ukrainian election interference and standing up and doing the right thing against this criminal Trump. That's what she's going to do. All right, last break of the hour. Our number, toll free from anywhere, 1-888-GO-CANE1. 888-465-2631. 888-465-2631. We'll be right back. Don't go anywhere.
Open enrollment is here. This is the one time of year you can make changes to your Medicare plan. Call Debbie at I Will Advisors. 954-753-8080. 954-753-8080. And have her review your Medicare plan. 954-753-8080.
People put off the medical care they need for a lot of reasons. My deductible is too high. I don't have insurance. My schedule is too hectic. I just can't afford it. The time for excuses is over. Thanks to Any Lab Test Now of Plantation, where they guarantee the lowest prices on all of their thousands of lab tests. PSA, only $34. Full cholesterol lipid panel, $28. Complete thyroid panel, $49. Diabetic A1C test, only $27. No doctor's order or prescription needed. All testing is always anonymous and confidential. In and out in 15 minutes or less. Most results in 24 to 48 hours. Make sure to ask about their allergy testing, which includes micronutrient and environmental allergies, and vitamin deficiency test, drug testing, you name it. Any Lab Test Now of Plantation probably test for it. Any Lab Test Now of Plantation is located at 8367 West Sunrise Boulevard in the Jacaranda Plaza on the corner of University Drive and Sunrise Boulevard in Plantation. Give them a call, 954-916-1072. 954-916-1072. Online, labtestingplantation.com. Take control of your health with Any Lab Test Now of Plantation. 954-916-1072.
This is Steve Kane inviting you to come see the all-new Toyota of Hollywood. You know, for the past 4 years in a row, Toyota of Hollywood has been #1 in volume for Toyota sales in the southeast region of the United States. There are lots of places you can shop for a new car, but there is only one Toyota of Hollywood where you will be treated like royalty. The service you receive at Toyota of Hollywood is second to none. No high-pressure sales, no hassle, no haggling, just the best deal on the brand new Toyota of your choice. At Toyota of Hollywood, there is a full line of new and pre-owned Toyotas, sure to meet the needs of you and your family. I drive a Sienna van, plenty of room, not only for the kids, but for the grandkids as well. It's roomy, it's comfortable, it drives like a dream. And then there's my favorite model of Toyota, the Camry. I've owned 3 of them over the years, and boy, are they made to last. That's right, you take care of your Toyota, it will take care of you. Then, of course, as a starter car for the kids in college, the fabulous Corolla, the ultimate in driving efficiency, priced perfectly for that first car. When you shop at Toyota of Hollywood, make sure you ask for Steve Ostrov. That's right, he's the GM. He's a big Steve Kane fan, and he is going to give you the deal of a lifetime. The new Toyota of Hollywood, 400,000 square feet with the most gorgeous Toyota automobiles you have ever seen. Located between Sheridan Street and Hollywood Boulevard on Highway 441, open till midnight. Tell them Steve Kane sent you. This is Steve Kane with an incredible special from our friends at Brighton Dental. 8 Emax veneers at Brighton Dental, just $49.99. All the other dentists in
Steve
town
Kane
charge
Show.
$10,000 for the
Steve Kane
exact
Show.
same veneers. 10 Emax veneers, $59.99 at Brighton Dental. These are the very same veneers that other dentists in town are charging $12,000 for. Get the Hollywood smile you have always.
Oh, so Eddie
dreamed
Munster
of.
blocked
Call
himself and then
Brighton
used a
Dental
troll
at
account to come back? Is that what you guys were talking about earlier?
922-4633.
Listen to the Steve Kane Show on
All right, welcome back, everyone. I'm Brian Craig. You are listening to the Steve Kane Radio Show, Florida's longest running radio show. Let's go to Ray in Sunrise. Ray, good morning.
Yeah, Brian.
Hey, Ray.
You know, when you talk about Pelosi and the end game, that's what we really have to focus on. You know, what are the Democrats really aiming at with this? The latest chapter in the coup attempt. You know, this whistleblower.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
You know, this is what they're really after. It's even more than Trump. Certainly, they want to get rid of Trump, but look at what they're doing to the presidency, not just the president, Donald Trump. Look at the long-range effect this has on our foreign policy. Number one, and this has been pointed out by many people, this is not earth-shattering news. Who is going to
Oh, yeah,
trust
Nick.
any
That's for
president
sure.
anymore?
Well, yeah.
What's Trump's greatest asset? He honored the deal, all right? He ended NAFTA. He steered us out of that Trans-Pacific Partnership,
Mm-hmm.
the UN garbage that's been going on, all right?
Well, and don't forget hundreds and hundreds of federal judges. He has more federal judges than people realize. Hundreds of federal judges he's appointed. Yeah.
And I think someone said last night there's about 80 more in the hopper, waiting to get.
Yeah. Yeah.
See, he's negotiated with Mexico. He's negotiated trade deals with Canada and so on. You see, this is what they're really afraid of.
Well, I got to tell you, Ray, yesterday I was so angry. I was sick. I was really sick about what was going on with this impeachment. And then since we left the air yesterday, I've seen a big turnaround. We've got the photograph at Martha's Vineyard with Biden with the Ukrainian guy. Schiff is getting exposed in several different ways. We've got Nancy Pelosi and,
Trump.
Mm-hmm. Well, yesterday Trump said something, and it got me thinking. Trump said in the Oval Office yesterday, he was asked about all this by the press, and he said they're on the hunt for this whistleblower. And what I'm starting to think is that there is no spy inside the White House. That the whistleblower claimed that somebody in the White House gave them this information, but the intelligence community was behind the entire thing. And Trump, this whistleblower protection I don't think it applies if you make false reports. If you were protected for making a false whistleblower report, everybody in the federal government would be reporting all their supervisors. Okay? So when somebody makes a false whistleblower complaint, I don't believe that the whistleblower's identity should be revealed to the public right now. But I do believe that they should be called into a private meeting with the president to get to the bottom of what happened. The whistleblower report was false, and the protection shouldn't apply. Appreciate that, Sarah, for the super chat. Thank you.
Constitutional rights. You have a right to know the charges against you. You have a right to face your accusers. Okay.
Yeah.
Know what the hell's going on? But I want to lose sight of the main thing here. What I'm talking about is the long-range result of what they're doing. The president will not be trusted. Now, you can't. The president is in charge of foreign policy. Okay, he makes the deals. Now, the control on that, of course, is that the Senate has to ratify treaties. All right, but you have to have the background. You have to have the back deal rooms, whatever you want to call them. That's part of politics. I mean, politics is dirty to begin with, and politics makes strange bedfellows, they say, and so on. But he could not make the progress he's made with North Korea. He could not make the progress he's made with China without his private dealing. They want to have every phone conversation.
Well, this is not the first time it happened. I heard President. I'm not sure if it was President Trump or Don Jr. or Eric. I heard one of them talking about this. On one of the president's trips to the UK, he had a phone conversation with Theresa May, who was the prime minister at the time. And before they landed in the UK, the contents of the conversation had been leaked to the media. And I think it was Don Jr. or Eric that actually brought this up. And they said that someone in the intelligence community who was privy to the call through a transcript or something gave it to their friends in the media. This has been an ongoing thing with President Trump.
The deep state.
Oh yes. Mm-hmm.
They're doing this to Barr. He doesn't.
Well, and this thing, and they've got Hillary Clinton out there running for president saying he's a criminal. Listen, the Jeremiah Wright controversial videotapes after 9/11 was discovered by opposition research by the Hillary campaign. The Hillary Clinton campaign were the ones to first go with the story that Barack Obama had never produced a birth certificate. And, since when is opposition research a crime? I mean, that's part of the political game. Oh, thanks, Rob, for the super chat.
That's
oh my goodness.
They were doing from the day one.
Yeah.
See, it's supposed to be bipartisan.
Yeah.
Dead. They have made everything partisan, as we know. But these are very big issues that in the long run game. See, now, why do they want Congress to be in charge of foreign policy, not the president? Because they want the globalists. They want the open border people. They want to make the deals. And you know what kind of deals they want to make? Yeah. You know what Brexit's all about, and that's why.
Well, listen. What's going on with Brexit is very. I mean, look what's going on with Boris over there in the UK. He's finally getting close to the Brexit, and they got some sex scandal on the guy right now, because he's going against the globalist over there. The members of Congress in the House of Representatives, for the more so than the Senate, but in the House of Representatives, they're all bought and paid for by special interests who do not want these trade deals renegotiated, because these international corporations that fund the members of the House of Representatives campaigns have entire business models based on these unfair trade agreements. Why? The fact that we have all these unfair trade agreements with the out of balance tariffs is not the stupidity of public officials. It's by design. They're all sellouts. They have sold out the country. That's how it got that way.
And to put up this facade, like, that everything is supposed to be above board and so on. Foreign policy is by nature, some type of negotiating, backroom dealing, and so on.
Yeah.
Politicians in Washington, who did they listen to? Lobbyists.
That's right.
Political action committees, all this stuff. They're all bought off.
That's right. All right, Ray. Ray. I've got to run because. Not just because we're coming up on a break, but I have kept you past the allotted time that Steve has given me to talk with you. Yeah, and so I'm going to be hearing about it when Steve gets here. You've been on too long, Ray. I'm going to hear it from Steve.
I have one issue with you, though.
Oh, boy.
Feeling sorry for Hillary. I can't believe you go down that.
Oh, thanks, Curtis. Thank you.
Scum.
Oh, my goodness. Thank you so much.
I will.
Okay.
But that.
All right, Ray. Ray doesn't care about getting me in trouble with Steve. Steve gives me pretty much free reign on the program, but the one thing he doesn't like is keeping Ray from Sunrise on for more than like a minute, 2 minutes at best. And I think I talked to Ray a little long today, a little more than 2 minutes, so I'm going to be hearing about it when Steve gets here. All right, listen, it's 8 o'clock in the morning. My name is Brian Craig. You are listening to Florida's longest running radio show, The Steve Kane Show, on the radio since 1977. Our number, toll-free, 1-888-GO-KANE-1. Oh, those of you that have joined us on the Steve Kane cruise to the Cayman Islands, Costa Maya, and Cozumel, Ian from Cruise and Travel Depot wants me to tell all of you to check in online. You can now check in online, which I've done it. I have checked in online. And if you don't know how to do it, call Ian over at Cruise and Travel Depot. He'll walk you through it. He did it with me, actually, the other day. He walked me through the online check-in. I am checked in online, as is my daughter who's coming with me. And it saves you a lot of time when you get to the port, all right, because they mail you the luggage tags and everything else. And if you're going to upgrade your drink package, this is a good time to do it. And I also added internet to mine because they have high-speed internet, so I upgrade. So anyway, if you have already made reservations and booked on the Steve Kane cruise to the Cayman Islands, Cozumel, and Costa Maya, do your online check-in. It's going to save you a lot of time. And again, you can call Ian at Cruise and Travel Depot. He'll walk you through it. Now, if you have not joined us, join us, unless your name is Al the John, okay? Join us. We're going to have a great time. Call Ian at Cruise and Travel Depot, 561-244-5779. 561-244-5779. All right, third and final hour begins now.
1370 WWNN Pompano Beach and 95.3 FM W237BD Boca Raton, the Health and Wealth Radio Network.
Hello, my name is Todd Shallett, Florida
Steve Kane
licensed
Show.
and bonded public adjuster in the state of
Oh,
Florida.
hey, hold on.
I work for Amerilos Incorporated. I'm the founder, and I've been working since 1993 as your public adjuster. Amerilos Incorporated has helped thousands of homeowners get tens of millions of dollars more than what their insurance companies paid them. We offer a second opinion on your claim. If you suffer damage from Hurricane Matthew, Irma, or Michael,
Thanks for the
it's
super
time
chat,
to
guys.
get
I
a second
appreciate that.
opinion and get the money that you deserve to get your house back in shape again. I'm sure you'll agree that you want to work with someone that has experience in this industry. I've been doing this since 1993, and our service is very valuable because if we don't get you any additional funds, there's no charge for what we do. Write this number down.
Yeah, Texas Blue. He'll never explain it, but whatever he says is always in all caps.
877-644-5677.
Well, thanks for watching.
If you had a loss, call Amerilos. One of our adjusters are standing by to make that valuable appointment with you. You deserve to get a second opinion. We work for you, not the insurance company. Call right now. 877-644-LOSS.
Todd Shallett, Florida license number 8239272.
The Steve Kane Show is brought to you by attorney Barry Siegel at the Siegel Law Group. Avoid probate with a revocable living trust. $350 for single people, $450 for married couples. When you complete your trust with attorney,
I need this cruise vacation.
we'll give you a
I'm like
$100 gift certificate to
working
Tavernier
too much.
Italian restaurant in Coral Springs. The Siegel Law Group, with 9 offices in South Florida, including Boca Raton, Plantation, and Coral Springs.
Yeah, Texas Blue. He came over here from Periscope.
FLA 3782.
So I have a low bar for Texas Blue since he's a Periscope lib. You know what I mean? You got to lower the bar for the Periscope liberals.
Staff, management, or sponsors.
Yeah, it's my yearly vacation.
Show is live in Morning Drive, 6 till 9 a.m. weekdays, and overnights midnight till 6 a.m. 7 nights.
All right. Third and final hour has begun. My name is Brian Craig. You are listening to the Steve Kane Radio Show, Florida's longest-running radio show. And on the line from the Boca Raton Center for Age Management, Dr. Mitch Matez. Hey, Dr. Matez, good morning.
Hey, good morning, Brian. Listen, the recent flurry of negative media reports on testosterone with regards to heart disease and strokes is fake news, folks. This is fake news at its best. Testosterone replacement has been done in men since 1935. It has an impeccable safety record and clear-cut, obvious benefit. The medical literature is very clear here, folks. A healthy testosterone level equals good cardiovascular health, that's heart health, by the way, and greater potential for longevity. By the way, Brian, this covers everyone, men and women. This is not a unique thing to men. Testosterone is equally as important for women.
Oh, yeah.
Healthy, well, balanced people.
Absolutely. And hormone replacement pellets, they are these tiny little pellets. I would say they're they're about the size of the tiniest grain of rice you can ever imagine before it's put in the pot and you add water to it. And they're implanted under your skin in the hip area, okay? And, you know, and I use hormone replacement pellet therapy. It works miracles. And, you know, it's a totally natural product. And it restores your hormones. I know you say to where they were in the 30s, but I think they restored mine to where they were when I was in my 20s, Dr. Matez. I mean, it's absolutely...
The optimum is 18 to 28, right? That's hormone.
Uh-huh.
That's in your frame. That's for both men and women, by the way.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and you know, in hormone replacement pellet therapy, you know, you restore your hormones to where they were when you were in your 20s, and of course, it increases your sex drive because you know what it's like when you're that age. So it increases the sex drive in both men and women, as well as performance. Men will have the ability to perform, and women as well, because I didn't realize that when women went through menopause, Dr. Matez, that they lost sex drive and that it made it difficult, if not painful or impossible, for them, due to vaginal dryness caused by menopause, to have sex. That's completely reversed. Your energy levels will go through the roof. I mean, my energy levels more than doubled. You know, it's really a miracle. I don't know why everyone is not using hormone replacement pellet therapy. Give Dr. Matez a call, a completely free consultation for Steve Kane listeners, 561-953-5490, 561-953-5490, and online, hormonetherapybocaratone.com. All right, Dr. Matez, we will talk later in the week. All right, you too, Dr. Matez. Yeah, give him a call. I'm telling you, women too, all right? Because, boy, reversing menopause. I believe one of the leading causes of divorce are the mood swings brought on by menopause. And, yeah, that's right. All right, hey, welcome back, everyone. Third and final hour has begun. You know, I was talking earlier because yesterday morning, when I came on the air yesterday morning, I was really upset. And that's very unusual for me. I do not get upset by the news. I may not like it. I'm not saying I don't get depressed or worked up or excited, but I don't get angry. And the reason I don't get angry typically at the news is because what's going on in the news is so far out of the realm of my control that it's just ridiculous to get angry at something you have no control over. You know, like that. I wish I could be so rational with other things in my life. I get upset about a lot of things in my life I have no control over. But the one thing, the news, I don't let it get to me. Except I did this weekend. And what they're attempting to do to our president, which is overturn an election and try to stop the next one from turning out the way that the voters want it to turn out, it just upset me beyond. I thought I was going to have a stroke yesterday. And then about the middle of the day yesterday, things have started to change, and it's involving Schiff more than anyone. I mean, Schiff he's made two major errors in his obsessive Captain Ahab-like approach with President Trump. The first one is just now coming to light again, which I'm very glad this is happening. A while back, you may remember, two Russian radio hosts, they call them shock jocks, I guess, called Schiff's office pretending to be officials from the Ukrainian government with dirt on Trump, and he took the call, and he had a conversation that was about 10 minutes long with them, and they led him down the garden path. You know, and who can tell the difference between a Russian and a Ukrainian accent? Ukrainians are Russian anyway. And so there, and it's now being circulated all over the internet, and it won't be long before it's on TV again. Adam Schiff thinking that he is conspiring with Ukrainian government officials to get dirt on a political opponent of his, President Trump. So that's coming out again. That's an oldie but a goodie. But where he really made his big mistake was reading that false transcript of the conversation between the president and the Ukrainian president. That's what really has done him in. And Donald Trump is not the only person who's saying he lied to Congress. A lot of people are saying that now. Some of them congressmen. And President Trump, what President Trump said yesterday was so right on the money with this. And what President Trump said yesterday that was so right on the money with this, he said he read the transcript of the call. He saw there was nothing there, so he had to write this so-called parody and then lie to the American people, lie to Congress, live on television, so that people would think that something inappropriate went on during that conversation. And you know what? That's exactly what Schiff did. And for him to say that was a parody, no one buys that. And he may not be reprimanded by Nancy Pelosi, but what he did was take so much credibility, even among the media, from them, where they're having a hard time with that. Another thing that they made a big mistake with was having the whistleblower be a CIA guy. People in this country, after what happened with the FISA warrants, are so fed up with the intelligence community. When people hear that the whistleblower is a CIA agent, most people in this country, they're like, oh, there they go again. You understand what I mean? So they've made many errors, and here we are less than, well, I guess about 24 hours since it first started happening. A day later, things are starting to churn, and they're turning big time, and they're turning against Schiff, his committee, and Pelosi and the media, and it's a good thing. You know, Trump always comes out on top. It doesn't mean we don't get upset. I was really sick about the coverage yesterday, and I did not watch the cable news yesterday. Just like I told you, I would not watch the cable news. I turned it on once or twice, and just 5-10 seconds, and it just pissed me off. You know, and I turned on CNN. And first thing I hear is President Trump was asking the Ukrainian president to dig up dirt on a political opponent, and I just turned it off. But everything has turned around today, and Schiff is in big trouble, because what's going to happen, he's in deep, Schiff with an F at the end there, and what's going to happen is, it's like that old game, when the music stops playing, he's going to be the last one standing. People are going to start to distance themselves from Schiff. And it all centers around him reading that false statement at the beginning of the hearing. That was a big mistake on his part. I'm not exactly sure why I understand why. I agree with President Trump as to why he did it, but he wasn't thinking clearly to do something so stupid. Good morning. You're on the radio.
Hey, guys.
Oh, hey, Sarah, who's joining us on the Steve Kane cruise to the Cayman Islands, Cozumel, and Costa Maya. How you doing, Sarah?
Good. How are you?
Good. Sarah's yeah. That's right. That's right. I'm a real person.
I've been upset. I think the liberals are just a sick bunch of people right now, and I don't know what they're going to do when Trump gets reelected.
I'll tell you what'll happen. The mental health professionals like Dr. Lemaski, their business is going to go through the roof. I mean, mental health professionals may be one of the fastest growing professions in America during Trump's second term.
Oh, I believe you. I do. And, as we see this show, and I've been on here for a long time, and all that kind of stuff, I look at the chat, and it just amazes me that the cowards never called.
Are you talking about the liberals? Well, let me, I give, from my experience, if Trump were going to be impeached, and I'm not talking about removal, just impeached, the liberals would be filling up our phones, and they'd be laughing at us, And when liberals view themselves as winning, they're very active on the phones. They want to mock you, laugh, and have a good time. When the liberals are not calling the show, that means we're winning, and that goes through history. During the OJ trial, you didn't hear. In the beginning, we didn't hear from black OJ defenders, and then at the end, when it was over, they were laughing. When Obama was elected, for months, liberals were calling in laughing. So the fact that they're silent means that they know that they're in trouble here, and that Trump's going to be reelected. So I got to run for a break, but Sarah is actually flying in from Colorado for the Steve Kane cruise, and that's great. That's great. We're going to have a great time, Sarah. All right. Well, you too, and we'll meet you on the Celebrity Silhouette. I know. That's exciting. We have listeners flying over from all over the country. Arizona, Connecticut, Colorado, all over the country to join us on this cruise. We have a lot of local people going too.
All over the world, and we have some people flying into the Warren American.
That's right. Yeah, we have people flying in from all over for this cruise. It's going to be very exciting. And I just say one last time here today, if you have already made reservations for the Steve Kane cruise, do your online check-in. It'll save you some time when you get to Port Everglades. And if you don't know how to do the online check-in, do what I did. Call Ian at Cruise and Travel Depot. He will walk you through it. He walked me through it, and I just did it on the phone in my car with Ian. It'll save you a lot of time. And if you want to add any upgrades, for example, if you want to upgrade your liquor package, if you want to add internet or any other thing, this is a good time to do it. And if you would like to join us, Ian told me the ship is almost completely full. And it's filling up fast because we're only a little over a month away now. But there are some cabins left on the ship. And this is not a marketing ploy. I'm telling you, the ship is almost full. And you want to call Ian at Cruise and Travel Depot. If you'd like to join us, you're going to have a great time. Give him a call, 561-244-5779. 561-244-5779. We will be back right after this.
Enrollment period is here. Medicare can be confusing and overwhelming.
Steve Kane Show.
Call Debbie at I Will Advisors.
Hey, Steve.
954-753-8080. 954-753-8080. And allow her to educate and guide you through the many plans, choices, and cost considerations. I Will Advisors represents all major insurance companies, not just a single carrier, so they will make sure you choose the best option for you. Call Debbie at I Will Advisors at 954.
Nobody was in there.
8080.
No, nobody's been in there.
753.
There's no key for that door. There's no key for that
I
door.
want to tell you about Dr. Mitch Matez at the Boca
You might have
Raton
walked out
Center
with it.
for Age Management. He's my
Oh, I don't have another
anti-aging
one right now.
doctor. That's right. I have an anti-aging doctor now. This year, I turned 45. And I was starting
I
to slow
keep
down.
forgetting.
I met with Dr. Matez, and he found that my testosterone level was low.
I can give you an envelope to write on.
Starting at age 30, and it goes down every year after that. Dr. Matez told me I was approaching the beginning of andropause.
You might have walked out with it, or it's in another drawer.
I began bioidentical hormone pellet therapy.
Here's an envelope if you need something to scribble on.
And now my testosterone levels are being restored to where they were when I was 25 years old. Thanks to Dr. Matez, I have more energy, I feel better, I look better, my love life, it's better, and my wife, she's thanking Dr. Matez too. Bioidentical hormone pellet therapy isn't just for men, it works wonders for women by reversing the symptoms of menopause, like the night sweats and the mood swings. Men and women, you don't have to live with the negative effects of aging, like loss of energy, loss of sexual desire, weight gain, or menopause. Call Dr. Matez and meet with him about bioidentical hormone pellet therapy. It works for me, and it'll work for you too. He's located
Oh,
in
man.
Boca, and his website is hormonetherapybocaratone.com. Or give him a call, 561-953-5490. 561-953-5490. And tell him Brian Craig sent you.
This is Lori Kane, and I want to tell you about Brighton Dental Care. I just had a lot of work done, and I avoided going to the dentist for a lot of years because I was afraid of the cost. But I went to Brighton Dental for my free consultation, which, by the way, he offers to all Steve Kane listeners. I had 2 cavities, I needed a crown on top and a crown on the bottom. If I were a horse, they would have put me down. So I scheduled my appointment for the next Saturday because Brighton Dental has Saturday appointments available, and they saved me a ton of money. And I will be a patient for life. Don't let cost stop you from taking care of your teeth. Brighton Dental gives Steve Kane listeners incredible discounts on all dental procedures, just like they gave me. Prices are so reasonable, you don't have to worry about the cost. So call Brighton Dental today at 954-922-4633. That's 954-922-4633. You can visit them at brightondental.com and tell them Lori Kane sent you.
Listen to the Steve
Ugh.
Kane Show on
Oh, boy. I tell you. It's always something. It's always something.
It is always something. It was a miracle I got here today. There was a terrible accident.
Oh.
Right about
Steve Kane Show.
here. Somebody was
Steve Kane Show.
listening to the radio on the Steve Kane Show, and
Hey there.
Ray from Sunrise got on.
Yeah.
And they fell asleep at the wheel, unconscious.
Oh, okay.
They crashed right into the thing, and
Mm-hmm.
The last words that Ray spoke were, "Let me talk to Brian."
Yes.
For the next 4 hours.
Yes. It wasn't 4 hours. It was a little long today. It was long
8
today.
minutes and 7.5 minutes.
Oh, would you
too
timed
long.
it? You timed
Yes.
it today? All right. Okay.
Gee whiz, what am
All
I
right.
going to do? You're so
All right.
good. And the one Achilles heel you have as a talk show host
Okay.
is wanting to talk to.
Well,
Ray's a nice guy.
Well, we all have our
Very nice
Achilles
guy,
heel.
but
We all have our Achilles heel.
sleep. God.
Okay. Well, you know.
He goes on and on. And what is the first trick I taught you? Not trick, technique. That I taught you in radio is the art of when you've got somebody that's
Yeah.
bringing the show to a halt,
Yeah.
radio
Yeah.
RD, radio
Uh-huh.
death.
Uh-huh.
You reach over as you're about to.
Oh, yeah, no, he did it.
And you hang up. No, you didn't.
No. He said it. One more
You're
thing.
supposed to
He
do
said,
it.
"Oh, one more thing
One
with
more
you. I
thing,
got
yeah.
gripe with you."
Well,
I
that's
know.
what you-
I know.
All right, you know.
I know. I told you. I told him.
Word to the
I said at the
heard
end.
it,
I
heard
said.
it.
I said.
But
You know.
Next time, just hang up. That's worth
Well,
1,000
I think what happened. I'm not going to just hang up. He's coming with us on the cruise. He's a nice guy. I'm not going to just hang up when he get off the phone. I let him talk a little bit.
A little bit. 8
But
minutes.
well,
Do
Ray.
you know what 8 minutes of Ray is like?
Yeah, it's like 3 hours of the Joyce Galpin show. It's probably about yeah. Is it that bad? No, it can't be that bad. That's pretty bad. But I think what Ray has is the ability to hypnotize me,
That's
and I lose
exactly
track of
what
time.
happens. That's what exactly.
You know, I
By the way,
yeah.
just seriously.
Yeah.
Because we're just kidding around.
No, I'm not going to disagree with you. He was on too long today.
You're the best.
Ray was on too long today.
Yes.
No, I'm not going to argue with you on that. I'm not going to argue. You know, I don't know if you worked at this radio station when they did this, because you worked at WNWS in Miami. And Al Rantel told me at WNWS, the program director had a timer connected to a light bulb in the studio, and when this light and you were only allowed to have callers on for a certain amount of time, and when you reached that time, the light bulb would light up, and you had to hang up on the caller.
Oh my Lord!
Could you imagine? He would have put one of those in here for me with Ray.
Anyway,
I know it's tough.
The thing that came after that was real good. This call that Biden got from the 2 Russian operatives.
No, Schiff.
Schiff. What did I say?
They were 2 Russian radio shock jocks, like morning FM DJ
I
types.
heard the beginning of that last night. That they played.
Mhm.
It was being played all over.
Yeah.
That is something we have to. Every host should play that.
Yeah.
At least once a show.
Yeah.
For the next couple of years.
And Schiff thought he was conspiring with Ukrainian officials to dig up dirt on his political opponent.
Right before you play this plot that
Mhm.
Schiff was trying to bring about, which he couldn't, because it wasn't real. So these 2 Russian DJs. Tell them the story.
Well, you know what? We
Can
have.
it- can we
I don't have
it
it queued up right now, but we have on.
Can we get it queued up before the end of the show?
I will see. But on the line, we have attorney Barry Siegel, Steve. So we'll talk to Barry, and I've got the lines confused. I think this is Barry. If it's not, it'll be on another line.
You can find that while
Well,
I'm
I'll try.
speaking to my
I'll try.
favorite attorney,
Steve Kane
Barry,
Show.
how are you today?
I'm great. How are you?
I'm
Steve
doing
Kane Show.
really well, and I know you're doing well.
Okay,
The
hold on.
Siegel Law Group, Siegel Law Group, helping all these people get their final affairs in order, and how important that is, getting people to understand that, so their loved ones don't have.
Well, yeah, I mean, it's important to make sure that you get this planning in place. That doesn't mean anything's going to happen to you anytime soon, but it's always good to know that you have that peace of mind that things are done. I can't tell you how often people walk out of our office and they're like, "Oh, I feel relieved. I feel so much better that we got this done." So, I mean, that's one of the reasons why we, do all kinds of education and workshops to let people know, so that it's not so scary, and get some education. As you may know, we do the monthly workshops on this one in October is going to be October 29th at the same place, the Boca Raton Courtyard by Marriott, and we'll have more information as that gets closer. But I also want to let you know that I've been invited to speak on a panel Wednesday, October 16th at 9:30 a.m. in Boca Raton. It's going to be a panel discussion of basically financial issues, planning issues that would be useful to people in their retirement years. And
There'll be all kinds of information, and you'll get to understand all your different planning options and navigate those options with the education to arm you to make all the right decisions. This one, if you are interested, call my office. They'll be able to make sure that you get on the list. Even though our seminars that we do for the Siegel Law Group are absolutely free, this one that I am speaking on a panel, they are charging a $20 advance registration. So if you want more information on that, please call our office and we can tell you about that.
I'm going to put Mr. Schiff on the phone.
Great speakers as well that could have some information that could be very useful as you're navigating your way through retirement and planning issues. And a lot of times you learn things at these events that you didn't even know these were issues. You know, it's one of those things where you don't know what you don't know. So.
Well, let me give you the number so you can call and make that reservation. What is the date again before you give the number?
For the panel discussion, it's Wednesday, October 16th at 9:30. It's going to be at the Mayfair of Boca Raton. That's at 1401 South Ocean Boulevard in Boca Raton, and my office will have all the information.
All right.
If you are interested, call our office, and they'll be able to get that set up for you.
Barry's office number, toll free, 1-855-FLA-3782. Barry, good talking to you, and we will speak to you tomorrow, all right? You take care, my friend, and we are back.
You want to take some calls?
No, wait,
Well, I haven't got it queued. Steve, you just can't walk in and have all the audio queued up. I got to pull it up. Give me a few minutes to get it ready.
I think that caller got scared.
You want to take some calls? I'll get it for you, but you know it takes time to do stuff. Again, I can't take requests live on the air sometimes. All right, let's see here. Steve, you're on the radio.
Good morning. First off, with Shana Tova to all my Jewish compatriots and those who wish they were Jewish compatriots. I have a question for you, and maybe our legal experts out there might be able to answer. Now that they got Trump, that they're impeaching him on this whistleblower complaint, and they see how easy it is to impeach him on garbage.
Hi, all right, I'm going to put Mr. Schiff on the phone, and then I guess are you going to transfer him to Mr. Kennedy?
Yes, of course.
Great, thank you.
Hi, how are you? Hello.
Or forgetting to put the cap on the toothpaste in the morning, or can they only impeach him one at a time?
No, they can impeach him until the public becomes so disgusted with their behavior that it becomes counterproductive for them, and they'll know when it's reached saturation. This is an incredible. I've never seen anything even close to this in all my years in radio. It is. They have already been more successful than I would have dreamed.
Yeah.
But you started to see last night. You know, the Republican milquetoast, middle of the road Republicans. You know, they're at a certain point they're slow to arouse in terms of anger, but once they get upset, this thing is going to take on a new life of its own. This thing is, see, what I'm starting to realize, which most people will never realize, is that this is just Act 2 of the play that we watched with Mueller. That was Act 1. This is Act 2 of the same play. And they're trying to do the same thing. It didn't work with Mueller. They're taking a second shot. I would like to believe that America will be so disgusted by the time this is over that they perhaps will be discouraged from trying.
It's falling apart on them right now.
Well, it's falling apart, but it's a difficult thing because it's complex to explain these things. They're not easy to understand, and these guys, these Democrats.
Well, Schiff's a clown though, and he's really getting discredited, and he's the chairman of the committee.
A couple of that thing that he did.
I got it queued up if you want to hear it.
You want to talk?
Yeah, I got. Hey, by the way, Steve, I'm going to let Steve on the line go. Who's also, by the way, see you on the cruise, Steve. Steve's going on this is a cruise day. Steve's going on the cruise with us too,
Hey,
Steve.
Steve.
All right, no, I let him go. Okay, I got the thing queued up.
Let me do the intro before you do it. What's interesting about this is this whole Act 2 thing by Schiff, with Schiff leading the way, by the way, is an effort to disgrace Trump as somebody who is manipulating foreign forces outside of the country against the law to to benefit him in the last election. I think of the last election.
Well, let me read you the story before I play it so we can get it out, okay? And this is, this is getting a lot of play these days. But this is from actually, this first came out at the beginning of the year, like February, okay? And Adam Schiff, and by the way, this call took place the year before when this happened. It took place on April 10th of 2017. These two Russian morning show radio guys, the shock jocks, they called Adam Schiff's office and said that they were Ukrainian government officials who had dirt on President Trump about an affair he had with a Russian model that he met at the 2013 Miss Universe pageant. So I'll play the call. So he takes the call from these guys thinking they're Ukrainian government officials, and Adam Schiff thinks he's conspiring with officials of a foreign government to dig up dirt on a political opponent, Donald Trump.
He doesn't view it as conspiring because he's the principal involved.
It's a phone call just like Trump.
Exactly what he is alleging that Trump did.
He did it.
Schiff actually did it and looks like such a fool.
Well, let me play it. It's okay. This is it.
He's taking the call from these two.
Hi, all right. I'm going to put Mr. Schiff on the phone, and then I guess are you going to transfer him to Mr. Powerby?
Yes, of course.
Great, thank you.
Hi, how are you? Hello, Mr. Schiff. Thank you for your time. Thank you, Chairman. I appreciate the opportunity to speak with you. I know that you work for investigation regarding Trump and the Russian government. Yes. We know some important information about it. And that is documented as well in materials you want to provide to us? Yes. Could I explain you where we are? Yes, of course. But, again, I would just caution that our Russian friends may be listening to the conversation, so I wouldn't share anything over the phone that you don't want them to hear. No, I don't think that it will impact on our investigation. Yes. Well, please, go ahead then. In November 2013, Mr. Trump visited Moscow. He visited competition Miss Universe, and there he met with Russian journalist and celebrity Ksenia Sobchak. I'm sorry, can you explain that again?
You can hear
While he was in Moscow,
you can hear it, Steve. Don't worry.
He met with a journalist and well, she's poor journalist, but anyway, she became famous because of Putin is her godfather. Okay, Putin's godfather. Okay. She also known as a person who provides girls for escort for oligarchs, and she met with Trump and she brought him our Russian girl, celebrity, Olga Buzova, who also known as a person with a strange reputation. Olga, and how do you spell her name? Olga Buzova.
Wow.
Buzova.
He thinks he's struck gold here.
Is a friend of the reporter Sobchak? Yes, she's a friend of a reporter, and I think the special agent of Russian Secret Service, Ksenia Sobchak. That Sobchak is or Olga is? No, Sobchak is Ksenia. Okay, and so Buzova met with Trump in New York at some point after the 2013 Miss Universe pageant. Absolutely, and she got compromising materials on Trump after their short relations.
Dope.
Okay, and what's the nature of the compromise? Well, there were pictures of naked Trump.
Naked Trump.
Okay.
He's taking notes. Naked Trump.
And so Putin was made aware
of naked Trump
of
pictures.
The availability of the compromising material? Yes, of course. Buzova shared those materials with Sobchak, and Sobchak shares those materials with Putin because she's a goddaughter of Putin, and Putin decided to press on Trump.
Schiff's like, we got him.
And the materials that you can provide to the committee or to the FBI, would they corroborate this allegation? Yes. Sure, of course. When they were in Ukraine, we got their conversation by the phone where they discussed those compromising materials. We are ready to provide it to FBI. So you have recordings of both Sobchak and Buzova where they're discussing the compromising material on Mr. Trump? Absolutely. And we also know who was a mediator between Trump and Russian government, who met with ex-advisor of Trump, Mr. Flynn. It was the Russian singer, very famous singer, Arkady Ukupnik, who met with Mr. Flynn on Brighton Beach in Brooklyn in a special Russian cafe, Langeron.
What's the name of the cafe?
Langeron.
Schiff thinks he struck gold here. He's got him.
Yes, it's on the Brighton Beach.
Okay. And
it's a special. It's a Russian district in Brooklyn.
And do you know what was discussed?
They discussed many things, but the most interesting thing is they use a special password before their meetings. When they met each other, they said weather is good on Deribasovskaya.
Weather
it rains.
Is good.
Yeah.
In where?
Weather is good on Deribasovskaya. There is a name of a street in Odessa.
What an embarrassment.
These guys are pretty good.
They are good.
Did you hear?
Yes, I did. So it's a street in Odessa.
Yes.
And the code word is weather is good on Deribasta.
He takes very good notes.
Deribasovskaya. Deribasovskaya.
Okay. And I'll have my staff follow up to get spellings and more details on that.
Yes. And the second part of their password was it rains again on Brighton Beach.
It rains again on
Brighton Beach.
Oh my gosh.
Yes.
Password.
On that meeting, Ukupnik told Flynn that all those compromising materials will never be released if Trump will cancel all Russian sanctions.
Okay. Well, obviously, we would welcome a chance to get copies of those recordings. So we will try to work with the FBI to figure out, along with your staff.
Comey's the FBI chief at the time, by the way.
Of course, we will provide you all our copies of all our materials, but I also would like to let you know that Sobchak and Buzova will pretty soon visit our country, and we could read them and deliver them to your embassy, and we also could extradite them to your country, and you can put them to your special jail, Guantanamo.
Well, I'll be in touch with the FBI about this, and we'll make arrangements with your staff. I think it probably would be best to provide these materials to both our committee and to the FBI. And so we'll make arrangements
it's almost over.
Between my staff and yours on how to facilitate that. And we'll also obviously let the FBI know about Busova and Sobchak's planned travel to Ukraine.
I also advise you to check all Sobchak's visits in the U.S. because she was in the U.S. very often, and just to check what she did there actually. And I also would like to look at Russian cafe on Brighton Beach, Langeron, and especially on the
He's doing spots,
head of Russian mafia, Uncle Misha.
Uncle Misha?
The head of the Russian mafia.
Yes.
He's in Brighton Beach?
Yes, he's the head of Russian mafia, and he's located on that restaurant on Brighton Beach.
Okay.
I just want to advise you just look at them, please.
Alrighty. Good. This is very helpful. I appreciate it. Anything else you wanted to add today?
Well, I hope that my information will be useful for you and your committee. And I also would like to advise you, when you or your colleagues will meet Mr. Trump, I advise you to tell him first part of the password on the weather is good on Deribasovskaya, and look how his face will change the color.
And so those passwords were used with Mr. Trump?
Yes, correct.
Okay. Well, thank you very much. We will be back in touch with you through our staff to make arrangements to obtain these materials for our committee and for the FBI, and I appreciate you reaching out to us.
Well, let's be in touch, and I will wait for your response from FBI.
Excellent. I'll have them follow up as soon as possible, and I thank you again. Bye.
Thank you.
Bye. Bye-bye.
Wow.
Unbelievable. One of the things that's subtly very interesting about this, the first place they think of to go, Schiff says we'll go to the FBI. It shows that he was open for colluding with the FBI all along.
Yeah.
this happened to be a phony lead, but it gives you
Yeah.
an idea of...
Well, Comey was heading the FBI then. Well, you know what I wonder though? He's a believer. He believed it, so he. It sounds to me Schiff actually believes Trump was conspiring and had been blackmailed successfully by Putin, or he wouldn't play along. If he knew it wasn't real, would he have played along?
I'm sure they had him fooled.
He was taking detailed notes.
No question about it.
What an embarrassment! What an
That
embarrassment!
should go on, because it shows you exactly what these people were all about to begin with. No real concern for the country, just what can they do to destroy Trump? They're obsessed. And there are a lot of them now. There are a lot of them, and
No,
basically Trump is sitting in the middle of a
Oh, yeah.
hornet's nest of all these people, which is scary. All right, let's take a break. You're listening to the Steve Kane Show with Brian Craig. We'll return after this.
People put off the medical care they need for a lot of reasons. My deductible is too high. I don't have insurance. My schedule is too hectic. I just can't afford it. The time for excuses is over. Thanks to Any Lab Test Now of Plantation, where they guarantee the lowest prices on all of their thousands of lab tests. PSA, only $34. Full cholesterol lipid panel, $28. Complete thyroid panel, $49. Diabetic A1C test, only $27. No doctor's order or prescription needed. All testing is always anonymous and confidential.
What an idiot!
In and out
What do you think Schiff feels when he hears that on the radio?
24 to 48 hours.
Stupid a-hole.
Which includes micronutrient and environmental allergens and vitamin deficiency tests.
But they
drug
ought to
testing,
really...
You name it. Any lab test now with Plantation.
They better rouse up the Republican...
Well, some of the Republicans are tweeting that call, a video of that call on Twitter. It's only a matter of time before Trump retweets it to his 50+ million followers.
Well, I can't believe Trump hasn't already done that.
954-916-1072. 954-916.
And he thinks he's conspiring with Ukrainian government officials.
LabTestingPlantation.com.
It's a sting.
Control of your health with Any Lab Test Now of Plantation. 954-916-1072.
Well, they're real celebrities. I was reading the story. They're real celebrities over there. And I'm guessing that some big Russian owns this restaurant on Brighton Beach that they're doing the plugs for.
Has one of the largest selections of 2020 Supra Launch Editions in the country. Plus, we're selling 2019 Toyotas at up to 50% less than their original MSRP when you unused. 50% less. A real 2019 Camry LE, not 26,000, 18,775. A real 2019 Corolla LE, not 22,000, 13,775. Get super savings during our 2020 Supra sales event at Toyota of Hollywood, the #1 volume Toyota dealer, based on total retail sales of new Toyotas in the Southeast region for 2014 to 2018.
Oh, no.
441 between Hollywood Boulevard and Sheridan Street. Open till midnight.
The Steve Kane Show is brought to you by attorney Barry Siegel at the Siegel Law Group. Avoid probate with a revocable living trust. $350 for single people, $440 for married couples. When you complete your trust with attorney Barry Siegel, he will give you a $100 gift certificate to Tavolino Italian Restaurant in Coral Springs. The Siegel Law Group, with 9 offices in South Florida, including Boca Raton, Plantation, and Coral Springs. Call 1-855-FLA-3782.
Listen to the Steve Kane Show on iHeartRadio. Just
Oh, man. Schiff's in trouble. How embarrassing.
Oh, yeah. Well, as you step back from it a little bit, you start to see what really was going on. And what was going on is Trump was organizing a lot of heads of state and he was leading an investigation into the Mueller frame job.
Yeah.
And there's nothing wrong with that. That's perfectly acceptable.
Yeah.
But he's spinning it as though these things were collusions to, attack and destroy people who didn't support him.
Yeah, you're not supposed to investigate crime. You want to take some more calls?
Sure.
All right. Richie the bus driver, you're on the radio.
Yeah, Steve.
Yes.
Real quick, on Ray from Sunrise.
Oh.
Can I ask you a question?
Oh.
Peggy Lee when she sang.
Peggy Lee.
No.
Where do you go now, Ray?
Of course, she was monotone, but she was very successful. I happen to respectfully disagree. I think Ray comes up with good stuff, and I don't think he's terminal. It's your show, but I think he's interesting.
Well,
and
I'll tell you what I'll do.
If you
can convince him to stay off the airwaves, we will give you a special gift. We're going to reward you with his phone number. So when he stops calling on the air, you will still be able to carry on hours of conversation with him in private, off the air, and you guys can be.
Yeah, I don't know why you're so hard on it. You know, Ray from Sunrise is bringing his whole family and his grandkids with us on the cruise. He loves you. He loves the show, and you're just. I can tell. I can tell.
I do love Ray.
I can tell.
So much.
I can tell.
I really love Ray. How do you not love Ray?
Oh yeah, I know.
Steve, I want to bring up something that I believe I got the theory on this whole thing. Okay.
Go ahead.
With President Trump. Okay.
Hold on. You sure? Hold on. Stop. Are you sure you're finished talking about Ray?
Yeah, it's finished with Ray.
You're finished with Ray. Okay.
Who he says is monotone because he was talking about Peggy Lee.
Okay.
This is why everything is going down. The Democrats are rushing to impeach because they know what's coming down the pike. If you're accused and you know you're going to be accused of terrible crimes, isn't it smart to try to accuse your accuser and discredit them before you go down? I believe this rush to impeachment. They would, if he left the cap of his toothpaste off, they try to impeach. This is all a front because they know they're going to impeach.
Well, here's what's going on that's not getting reported much in the news. It's a little bit in the news. Is that Barr traveled to Europe, Italy. He's been and he is personally leading the FISA warrant investigation. He's traveled to Europe to question people about it, which is unheard of for an attorney general. And to me, I was talking about this earlier, that means big names are going to get indicted, and they know this, and they're in a panic.
Giuliani, they're trying to keep him off of TV. Why? Because he's got the facts. Let me tell you, they could call him an old guy who hasn't practiced in years. They're going to try to discredit anyone, because...
Well, that story, it's a little more sinister than that. Joe Biden's people have contacted the media and asked them to stop booking Giuliani. So that was like that story came out yesterday. So that's pretty hard. If he was a senile old man who was babbling lies, Biden wouldn't mind it so much.
They're in big trouble, Steve. I think the Democratic Party, when this is over, they're going to lose everywhere. I got a feeling this party is done.
Well, from your lips to God's ears, hopefully that is true, but it's not going to be easy, I'm telling you, because
I believe they're going to try to discredit Barr, and that's what they're trying to do.
Well, they're going to try, but these guys are very slippery, and they've got, unfortunately, a lot of wayward Republicans joining them in this thing. And then it becomes a numbers game.
Who's joining?
I'll tell you what, the whole key here is timing, because if they get to it, if they can drag it out to a certain point where it's really close to the election, the logical thing to do, even for those people who would like to, for reasons of their own, court, the support of Schiff and his gang. They're going to be able to say, we're going to be able to say, hey, there's an election coming up in 2 weeks. There's an election coming up in 3 weeks. There's an election coming up in 4 weeks. Why are we settling for this when we're going to have a chance for the whole country to state their position and state their case in the way we are supposed to do it, which is through the electoral process.
Well, speaking of timing, it's time for the Gold Report, Steve. We have William Youngerman on the line.
Oh, boy. All right, let's see what... Now, remember, when we left William yesterday, he was advising you all that there would probably be a pullback, and that's got to get you into that rhythm, waiting till that pullback comes, and that's when you enhance your holdings. So let's see how things are looking today. A man who is one of the top experts in the precious metals really on the planet Earth. I'm talking about William Youngerman of William Youngerman Inc. He has been advising clients on trends and movements in the gold market for 52 years. William, how are you this morning?
Great, Steve. How you doing?
Very well.
Good. Well, the precious metals finally gave us a good pullback that we were somewhat looking for it when the resistance continued to come in as sellers sold the market at the 1500 to 1525 level. We've been in a trading range for weeks now, as you know, from 1485 to 1525, unable to break through the previous highs of around $1,557. That gave way to a breakout one way or the other, and the breakout was to the downside as we saw the 50-day moving average violated yesterday, and the market continuing to sell off on that strength of the U.S. dollar, as well as yields slightly going higher. The 10-year bond, which got down below it 1.5% a few weeks ago, as you recall, is back up to about 1.75%, which is not a big deal, except that it's a perceived possibility that maybe we saw the lows for the time being on the declining interest rates. That being said, the strength of the dollar and other factors have pushed gold to test the downside rather than the upside again. And that put gold down $24.40 yesterday, closing out the day at $1471.50. Silver, again, also unable to reach its previous highs, broke lower yesterday, down 54 cents at $16.96 the ounce. Platinum was down $48 at $880, and palladium was down $6 at $16.56. Palladium nearly got to $1,700 this week alone. So, but again, that's broken down with the rest of the metals. The market overnight got gold down to $1,458 the ounce, and then bounced off of that, moving it back up to around $1468. Right now, gold trading mid-range from its trading range overnight, and that's at $1463. That's down another $8.50. Downside, we look for maybe gold to test the $1,440 number. Whether that happens or not remains to be seen. Certainly, resistance will be up around that $1,495. Of course, a break through that and break through $1,500 could reverse this trend. But for the time being, we're looking for a little bit lower prices. These breaks usually take place very quickly and don't always give up investors time to think about, well, should I buy, should I not buy, should I wait? The idea and the key to one of the key things that we speak of is adding to your positions a little bit at a time, and this is a great time to do that. Gold, as I said, down $8.50 at $1463 right now. Silver, bucking that, up 10 cents right now at $17.06. Platinum is unchanged at $880, while palladium right now is down $11 at $1,645. So again, you may look to take a little bit of a position now if you've been waiting to add to your positions, and then if we get down to that $1,440 number, certainly you want to jump in at that number. That's pretty much where we are this morning, Steve. We'll see how this little bump in the road gives us a nice buying opportunity.
All right, there you have it. Strike while the iron is hot. Drop by William Youngerman. William is located at 150 East Palmetto Park Road. That's in the Bank America building. William's on the first floor, directly across from the bank. You can reach him by phone at 1-800-327-5010, or go to the website at williamyoungerman.com. William, we will talk to you tomorrow, all right?
Okay, have a great day.
You too. And we are back.
Oh man, I tell you, this is great. How things have changed since yesterday. Oh yeah, it's coming apart.
This is a long road.
Schiff is the head of the committee. He is being totally discredited by his own, stupid moves. The phone call, that statement at the beginning of the committee. It's falling apart for them fast. I mean, they're talking about him having lied to Congress, which is what he did. Oh, but by the way, today's the first day of open enrollment for Medicare recipients. So, this is the only time of year you can make changes to your Medicaid policy. No matter where you are in the state of Florida, Debbie from I Will Advisors can help. Her number, 954-753-8080. If you're local in South Florida, she'll come to you if you can't make it to her, 954-753-8080. No, yesterday I was I wouldn't say worried, I was upset. And Trump just almost immediately after we went off the air, things started to turn on Schiff.
Well,
and he's the leader.
I think you may be a little premature here. Hopefully, you get more and way each day. But this is complex stuff for the average person.
I don't think so.
Well, yeah, it is.
When
It is really.
really?
Well, of course, the narrative that they have created is a complex narrative.
Yeah.
And these people, especially these Democratic yahoos that get their news. I had an unfortunate incident with my sister, who I'm very close to.
Yeah.
We had our family fight over Trump.
Mm-hmm.
She gets all her in. I said, it sounds to me like you're, hearing. You seem more knowledgeable than you did before.
Yeah.
It seems to me you're following this. And she says, yes. I said, what do you watch? She said, NPR. I said, okay, well, that.
NPR. She says,
Well, the fact that you're in outer space.
well, she's in California, okay? And the overnight.
So we shouldn't hold it against.
No. The overnight rebroadcast, we're on the air overnights as well, midnight till 6 a.m. That means that's 9 p.m. her time. So she can catch the show from 9 to midnight California time.
Timing is not the.
She can hear the truth by listening to this program.
If she wants to hear the truth, but like with so many of the anti-Trump forces, she doesn't really want to hear the truth. She wants to hear what goes along with.
Is she in Northern California or Southern California? Oh, okay. So she's in occupied U.S. territory. So she's a minority. She speaks English.
They have a little line they found.
White liberals?
White liberals.
Oh, okay. That she doesn't leave she's in one of these little villages. She doesn't leave the community?
No. She's.
So she doesn't encounter the illegals that have taken over her state?
No, there are not a lot of illegals around.
Oh, well, that's why. Okay.
I always have to ask her if she's seen it on television, the latest of the
Yeah.
bombs lying around in San Francisco.
With the poop on the sidewalks.
Yeah.
So she's basically, as a liberal, has segregated herself from the majority population of California.
Yeah, although she's not political, I mean, I've made her a little bit crazy with it, but she doesn't want it. We're too close. It threatens our friendship if we get too many political discussions.
Well, that's too bad.
In the interest of family love, like I'm sure millions of people in the United States, families that agree not to bring up certain topics of threatening the family cohesiveness. That does it for today. We will be back tomorrow, 6 a.m. On behalf of Brian, I'm Steve. God bless America.
For your tires. Go easy on your budget and buy your tires at Friendly Tire of Margate, where they have all the major name brand tires like Goodyear and Firestone at discount prices that absolutely can't be beat.
Well, wait, let me finish.
Tires for a Sienna van at the other tire shops, $175.
We missed a break, so I didn't want to get a couple in at the end. Yeah.
$75 a tire. Tires for my daughter Emily's car, $135 at the tire shops around town. Friendly Tire, only $65. That's more than a 50% savings. Those prices
Well,
are
thank you. All right, guys, on Facebook. See you tomorrow.
And no added charges. Friendly Tire.
Are you guys all subscribed on YouTube? Is there anyone not subscribed?
$40 for most sizes. Call my good buddy Mike at Friendly Tire. Tell him what you drive, and he will give you a great low price right over the phone. 954-977-9445. 954-977-9445.
Thanks, Dan Duncan.
Online, friendlytire.net.
Seniors, open enrollment is here. This is the one time of year you can make changes to your Medicare plan. Call Debbie and I will advisors. 954-753-8080. 954-753-8080.
He said I should get my checks in as early as possible. I don't want to.
954-753-8080.
This is Steve Kane inviting you to come see the all-new Toyota of Hollywood.
Oh, I gotta get the new commercials to the radio station.
Has been #1 in volume for Toyota sales in the southeast region of the United States. There are lots of places you can
Great.
shop.
Oh, you're subscribed, Texas Blue? That's
There's
good.
only one Toyota of Hollywood where you will be treated like royalty. The service you receive at Toyota of Hollywood is second to none.
Just wait till we're done here.
No hassle, no haggling just the best deal on the brand new Toyota of your choice. At Toyota of Hollywood, there is a full line of new and pre-owned Toyotas sure to meet the needs of you and your family. I drive a Sienna van. Plenty of room, not only for the kids, but for the grandkids as well.
All right, guys. See you later. Take